back in the game and very close to the first down, as Andre Carter, former 49er, is right there, and as the Eagles trying to take advantage of 2 plays netting 17 yards. That's how much the Eagles needed for the first down, and they didn't make it. They're short by that much, says Ron Winter. 4th down coming up, and they're going to send on the field goal team. Andy Reid not trying to gamble this early in the game.
No, but that's inexcusable for this Eagles offensive line. This is probably the best group that I have seen as an offensive line in the last 3-4 years. You've got Jamal Jackson at center. Sean Andrews is becoming one of the more dominant right guards in the NFL. That is inexcusable for that group to get stuffed on a short yardage play.
This will be a 37-yard attempt. In the last game against Jacksonville 2 weeks ago, Akers was 2 for 2. Kind of a screwball kick because of the wind. It is good, so the 37-yard field goal giving the Eagles the lead, 3-0.
Life, and remember that no matter what it takes, life takes Visa. By Samsung, the official HD TV of the NFL. By State Farm, great service, great rates. Nobody takes care of you like State Farm. And by Ford F-Series, built for bold moves, built Ford tough.
Back here in Philadelphia, Dick Stockton, Darryl Johnston, and Tony Siragusa, as Akers getting set to kick off. Yes, it's the first points in the first quarter in the last 4 weeks. Talk about slow starts. The Eagles have been outscored 31-3 in the first half in those 3 losses.
And that's why it was important for this group to take the field with a sense of urgency. The defense got it done after that 1 3rd down with the missed tackles. They got a short punt, took it down the field, but still, I mean, an opportunity for 7. You get yourself into a 3rd and short down near the red zone. You've got to take advantage of those opportunities.
And once again, the wind blows the ball off. We talked about how the NFC is gone. I mean, right now, 5 teams are at 4-4, including the Eagles in the NFC coming into this week. The Falcons are 5-3, and that doesn't even count the 4 division leaders. So there's a huge scramble because basically you've got 6 teams battling for what would be 2 spots. But it's only the first game of the second half of the year. Well, now they have the holder for David Akers. It's Considine, and he gets the kick to the goal line where Rock Cartwright returned it. And Cartwright crosses the 25-yard line. Reno Mahe makes the tackle, and we'll be back here in Philadelphia with the Eagles in front.
Introducing the all-new...
We salute everyone. Veterans Day yesterday, and the Redskins first down. Antoine Randall L. gets the end around, so he has had a couple of touches here and picks up 3 yards as we send it down to Tony. Tony, you had a chance to talk to Ron Winter about the weather.
Yeah, Ron Winter said that he will be notified. There is a storm in the area. If there is any lightning within 3 to 4 miles, if the storm comes in, if he sees the lightning, he is the only person who can go and delay the game, but they will notify him if it's close, and they'll take it from there.
Thank you, Tony. After the 3-yard pickup by Randall L., 2nd down and 7 on the 30. Clayton Portis off the left side has some running room, and he'll get the first down and gets a couple of more before he goes out of bounds at the 40, chased by Sean Barber, but he gets 10 on the play.
A lot of times the shifting and motioning by Al Saunders. Here's Antoine Randall coming into the shift and the motion. Watch how as Clinton Portis comes outside, there's no run support there. They're trying to designate where it is. They find out Brian Dawkins gets caught up and gets trapped to the inside. So a lot of times that will just be window dressing, but the Redskins use it to find out who's responsible for run support.
First down at the 40. Here's Portis. Nowhere to go. Tries to change directions and is slowed up by Darwin Walker and finally dropped by Matt McCoy. How much does all of that motion really work in today's football, in your opinion, Darryl? Penalty flag down. We'll hear from Ron and then
personal
Darryl.
foul. Grasping a face mask. Defense number 97. 15-yard penalty and a first down.
You see Darwin Walker coming across right there. Now that's the legitimate 15-yarder. He's spinning his head all the way around. But the shifting and motioning, what that really does is it doesn't allow the defense to come out and be stagnant. They have to declare certain things as you're motioning across formations. But the Redskins use it mainly in their running game. They're trying to find things out about what the defense is going to do to try and support the run on the perimeter. And that's one of the big concerns for the Eagles in this game. That's the play that they're worried about the most is Clinton Portis on the perimeter.
Golston will return with the shoulder injury. Here comes the flag down and a false start. Probably delayed a sack against Mark Brunell.
False start. Offense number 89. 5-yard penalty.
And it's on Moss.
Well, you talk about Jim Johnson and his overload pressure scheme, right? He's bringing 3 to that side. He's slanting the defensive line. You see right there, they get a free blitzer right to the quarterback. And now that is not the only thing that Jim Johnson is trying to do when he's doing his blitzes. A lot of times these guys get turned free, but it also gives them good one-on-one matchups inside.
Jim Johnson, the reason why he's slanting a lot of those defensive lines, he needs to get penetration. Right now, all the defensive linemen are on the line of scrimmage and the linebackers are getting tied up. They need to go and penetrate and force him.
First down and 15 as Liddell Betts on the pitch brings it to the 44 of the Eagles, picking up 4 yards. And right now for a game break, here's Chris Rose in Los Angeles.
All right, Dick, in Tennessee, Steve McNair with a TD toss against his former team. So Vince Young comes back and runs one in. His 3rd rushing touchdown of the year, tied for the team lead. And Tennessee has a 3-point lead over Baltimore. Back to Dick, Moose, and Goose.
All right, Chris and Steve McNair returning to Tennessee after 11 seasons with the Titans. They didn't leave on the best possible terms. 2nd down and 11 with under 5.5 to go in the first quarter. Redskins on the Eagle 44. Play action. Brunell has time, and this pass caught by Chris Cooley in the open spaces, and he'll get a first down to the 29. You saw them working on Clinton Portis on the sideline. Portis, of course, was guilty of that face mask, and he's had his injury problems a lot this year.
All right, you get flow here. Now you're going to get the boot back out to this side. Chris Cooley's going to come across. This is the combination that the linebackers are worried about. Look at them all. They're all over to the far offensive right side. Chris Cooley comes across formation. He's wide open. Balancing that perimeter run with bootlegs and different types of play action to Chris Cooley. Tough job on those Eagle linebackers.
Well, he's become a big factor now in the Redskins offense. After the 15-yard gain, Portis is back in there and jitterbugs his way for a couple on first down. Clinton Portis on pace for a career low 1,067 yards. They've tried to protect him. That's why you see Betts in there a lot because of injury problems, but he is no longer the workhorse that we have seen in his days with Denver.
And he got hurt really early this year. He got hurt in the 3rd snap of the preseason, missed the first 2 games of the regular season, so he just hasn't been able to stay healthy, and for that reason, the Redskins have really lacked in consistency with their running game.
2nd down and 8. They're right in on Brunell, and he has to get rid of it in a hurry. Dhani Jones, and they show the late flag, so we'll have an intentional grounding call against Mark Brunell. It'll be a loss of 9 or 10. As a result.
Intentional grounding. Offense number 8. Penalized 10 yards and a loss of down.
But no one picked up Dhani Jones, among others.
No, well, you got Dhani on the outside, but you've got Jeremiah Trotter up inside again. He's up. He walks himself up into the A-gap between the guard and center. All the attention gets focused there, and all of a sudden you got a guy turned loose on the outside. Now, in Al Saunders' offense, when you get an overload blitz to one side, there's supposed to be adjustments on the outside. I'm thinking one of the receivers there missed a hot adjustment because Mark Brunell had nowhere to go with the ball.
As a result, 3rd down and now 18. Back on the 37 of Philadelphia. Portis going in motion to the left. Here comes the pressure, and no chance to do anything. That was a blitz by Michael Lewis, who was the starter at strong safety. No one picked him up. So 4th down coming up.
You've got to squeeze. When you've got blitzers walked up in your A-gap, you have to squeeze. Now, they're going to get Jeremiah Trotter, but they don't account for Michael Lewis. When they get up that tight and they're coming, you got to squeeze everybody down. They had a screen play called on. The guards are going to be in the screen. They've got to take care of the blitzer first before they get out. So that play seemed to be doomed from the start.
So Mahe again going back, and Derek Frost will kick it away. So what looked like a promising drive by the Redskins fizzles. Fair catch by Mahe right at the 15-yard line. 3:36 to go in the first. 3-0 on Akers field goal.
There's strong, and then there's Army strong. It's more than physical strength. It is emotional strength. Not just strength in numbers, the strength of brothers. Not just the strength to get yourself over, the strength to get over yourself. There's nothing stronger than the U.S. Army, because there is nothing stronger than a U.S. Army soldier. There's strong, and then there's Army strong. Visit GoArmy.com/strong.
Welcome back. Today we're going to show you how to deal with your daughter's good-for-nothing boyfriend.
Now, the first thing you want to do is get yourself some Hager pants with the do-it-to-it waistband. It really helps you do it to it.
You're going to want to bend at the knees.
Oh, yeah, come on, you.
And swing from the hips. Hey, nice one, Red. See you next time we show you how to put your daughter in a convent. Till then, we'll be right here
Making things right.
Pitch us your idea for the best NFL Super Bowl commercial ever. Seriously. Register now at NFL.com/superad.
Place to go for cheesesteak. Eagles lead 3-0, and they are undefeated, 7-0 after a bye week under Andy Reid. Of course, he did tell us that in the week prior to the bye week, not quite as spectacular.
Not quite as crisp going into it.
Losing record. First down on the 16 is where they mark it. Donovan McNabb inside the 10-yard line, going deep to Stallworth. He's got it. Dante Stallworth will take it all the way for the touchdown, and no flags are thrown. 84-yard touchdown pass adds to the Eagle lead.
All right, well, they got one. They got one, but they got to keep grinding. They got to keep grinding. You have an opportunity to hit the big play, and you take advantage of it. Dante Stallworth double move on Sean Taylor. He bites the out. He's got no help from the inside. Troy Vincent was brought in to remedy that situation right there. They took advantage of it.
And the second longest touchdown pass of the year, Hank Baskett caught one for 87 yards against the Cowboys. And it is 9-0 with David Akers trying to make it 10. And the Eagles, trying to snap a 3-game losing streak, have opened it up here in the first quarter on the big touchdown pass. McNabb to Stallworth, 10-0.
She is the team mom of the Pittsburgh Steelers, mother of 53 boys. Big boys. That's why she's big on Campbell's Chunky. Campbell's Chunky. Hearty meals packed with big chunks of beef, chicken, or sausage. Savory soups and chili to feed an NFL-sized hunger. Team Mom, we salute you. Campbell's Chunky, a new chunky healthy request. Meals that fill you up right.
Baby, go down to Radio Shack and ask them what I want in a wireless phone or plan. Because I have looked everywhere and I still have no clue MP3s, cameras, streaming stuff, Bluetooth. What is Bluetooth? I don't know, but the guys at Radio Shack do. Together, you can sort it out. So I'm no good at multitasking.
Radio Shack, your neighborhood wireless store.
Using only my City Premier Pass credit card, I earn rewards points crazy fast, and I will do it restrained with this restraining device. I start with the points for buying my ticket and Victor's ticket, then earn points for my miles and his. Unbelievable! Using only the City Premier Pass credit card, I rock the house. Big time. Rewarding. Very, very, very rewarding.
On behalf of all of the Eagles fans, the military personnel that are here in Baghdad and the surrounding area, we'd like to send a big shout out back home to all the Philadelphia Eagles fans. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
And they're up 10-0. Stallworth, that's his career-long catch for a touchdown, 84 yards. And for Donovan McNabb, he's made a habit of this because he has more career touchdowns against the Redskins than any other team in the NFL. That was his 19th strike against the Skins.
You saw right there the Redskin defensive backs trying to look at those pictures, find out what happened. It seemed to be a cover 2 shell, and Sean Taylor just jumped the double move by Dante Stallworth. There was nothing that Troy Vincent can do. He was on the other side protecting the other half of the field. So Sean Taylor has got to know when he can play the ball aggressively and when he is the last line of defense. And on that one, he rolled the dice, and Dante Stallworth went over the top.
That's the big problem for the Redskins today, defensing Donovan McNabb and company. David Akers kicking off, and the ball was blown off at the last second. $10-0, and of course the Redskins trying to avoid a 3-6 start. And once again, Sean Considine will hold for Akers, and all smiles on the Philly sideline. Past Randall Cunningham for second all-time in career touchdown passes for this franchise. This kick is short. Cartwright at the 9. Rock Cartwright, who has returned a kick 100 yards for a touchdown earlier in the year, returns this 23 yards. Here is that touchdown again. McNabb to Stallworth, and here's how the troops in Baghdad reacted. The Eagle fans, of course.
Them Eagles fans are rowdy no matter where they are in the country or the world.
Yes, they are. So we'll see how the Redskins answer this early challenge. With 3:18 to go in the first quarter, they have a first down on their 33. And the quick to Santana Moss. And let's see if it bounced out of his hands. It's ruled an incomplete pass. Second down.
You get the trips formation out to the outside. You're going to try and throw this quick screen. Coming from the inside, Chris Cooley to get the block on Sheldon Brown. That's just hard. It's a hard play, in my opinion. You know, I've seen Washington run it probably as effectively as anybody in the NFL, but it's a big college play, and the reason is, in college, those linemen can take off as soon as they want. The ball doesn't have to be thrown behind the line of scrimmage. Washington does it well, but still risky to me.
Portis getting a good block and is about 3 yards shy of a first down. Randy Thomas, the right guard, an 8-yard pickup. And for a game break, let's again check in with Chris Rhodes.
Dick's 90th regular season meeting between the Packers and Vikings. Brett Favre swing pass to Noah Herron. 408th career TD toss for Favre, 12 behind Dan Marino for the all-time lead. Packers up 10. Back to Dick, Moose, and Goose.
Look at that, the Vikings dominating the series, 45-44 over the Packers. That's been a great series, and that NFC North. Third down and 2. Brunell with the short pass, and it's caught, and a first down to Santana Moss. Once again, Clinton Portis going out of the game, a 4-yard pickup there. And of course, one of the things that Mark Brunell, Darryl, hasn't been able to do is really extend the field and go deep but with Moss, he has a greater chance to do it. He hasn't tried it yet.
No, he hasn't tried it yet, but that's also an area that this offense is still evolving into. Al Saunders, when he came in and took over the offense, one of the things he wanted to do was expand the passing game by establishing a vertical presence. We haven't seen it today, but they've got the people that can do it, especially when Santana's back in the offense.
First down. And here's Liddell Betts. And Liddell Betts brings it into Eagle territory with a 6-yard gain. Juque Thomas making the tackle, but overall, you'd have to say, you know, at 3-5 and trailing here, the Redskins have been a big disappointment on both sides of the ball. When you bring in Al Saunders and you bring in the names like Antoine Randall and Brandon Lloyd, you have a lot of weapons. This has been a team that really has been short-circuited offensively after last year when they couldn't move the ball up.
Well, you know, I think we focus on the offense, but defensively too. You know, they've struggled defensively. They're at the bottom of a lot of categories in the NFL. You don't expect to see Greg Williams' group there.
And you don't expect to see Dawkins come in that fast if you're a Redskin guy, with Liddell Betts just getting the handoff, and Dawkins is in, a 3-yard loss. And an inspired effort by the Eagles on both sides of the ball thus far.
Well, Brian Dawkins is one of those guys you need to know where he is all the time. You know, if he's creeping around up in that line of scrimmage, you better pick him up. And when your fullback goes into the line of scrimmage and is looking over his shoulder the way that Mike Sellers just did right there, you know somebody missed somebody. And then, you know, we're seeing a more conscious effort on wrapping him up right there. Brian Dawkins isn't going to come up and just put a big hit on you. He's going to get you to the ground.
You know, the Redskins are not blocking the Eagles. Pure and simple. 3rd down and 6. And the handoff to Liddell Betts, and an effective running play nets a first down to the Philadelphia 41-yard line. So 9 for Betts with under a half a minute to go in the quarter.
Tough play to adjust. They're going to get this guy, pass him up the field, and then Chris Samuels is going to come back and try and get the second level on the linebacker. Pushes him up. Watch Liddell set the block right there. He couldn't get over the top to get in behind Chris Samuels, but he did a good job of setting up the block by Casey Robach on the inside.
And they should get another play off before this quarter comes to an end. First down, and here is Betts again. Good opening up the middle, and Liddell Betts carries it to the 35-yard line as time runs out, and they separate some of the combatants. That's the end of the first quarter. With the score, the Eagles 10 and the Redskins nothing. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages.
My clothes didn't fit.
Ear infection? Double. Wasn't it double ear infection?
She bumped her head.
I couldn't sleep. I typed in anxiety.
I typed in depression.
Diabetes. Sexual health.
WebMD has information that used to be scattered in millions of places.
All in one place.
Organized information.
Medically reviewed.
So we trust it.
I don't need millions of answers.
Just one good one.
More than 30 million people come to WebMD every month. WebMD. Better information, better health.
You're watching Fox NFL Sunday.
What separates Ford Focus from Honda Civic and Toyota Corolla? First off, there's more interior room in the Focus. Plus great standard features like a premium sound system and independent rear suspension. Backed by extended powertrain coverage good for 5 years or 100,000 miles. And with up to 37 miles per gallon, Focus goes farther than Civic or Corolla. Up to 500 miles per tank of gas. Ford Focus for just $170 a month. Or get 0% financing at your Quality Plus Ford dealers.
You're buying.
There's no contest when it comes to great deals at McDonald's. Stop in now and you can get 2 Big Mac sandwiches for just $3.
Yes.
Hey, it's me, Mark. Still living in my center for 7 days. Tonight, I'm having my buddies over, so I thought I'd get the place all cleaned up.
You only put in $5.29.
Look, man, the sign says free car wash with fill-up, and that's what I did.
But you only put in $5.29.
I've been driving this car around for 4 days. It only cost me $5.29 to top it off. Look, do you want me to start to make funny noises?
Next.
I win.
My next generation Nissan Sentra. Oh. Oh.
Presented by Burger King. Have it your way.
We begin the second quarter here in Philadelphia. Dick Stockton, Darryl Johnston, Tony Siragusa, and they're looking at the right hand of Clinton Portis and then having to leave the field and go into the locker room. So the injury bug continues to follow Portis, who, remember, separated his shoulder in the first preseason game. Second down and 4. Redskins on the Eagle 35-yard line, and there's Liddell Betts, who carries off the left side and picks up about 1.5 yards with Matt McCoy. Joe Gibbs, who has coached only 3 teams with losing records at the halfway mark. None of those teams went on to make the playoffs, so that is not a good barometer for the Redskins this year, as they're 3-5 and looking to repeat the dramatics of the win over Dallas last week. This is the 10th play of the drive. Handoff to Liddell Betts on 3rd down and 3, and the Eagles are there, led by Sean Barber and Sean Considine, the strong safety. They lose 1 yard.
Philadelphia's style of defense is basically to disrupt what you want to do offensively, and we've seen it a lot. They're coming after Washington on the inside. That was a good play call by Al Saunders. He's trying to get on the outside, but it's so disruptive it confuses everybody.
And they're going for it on 4th down, and this is the 3rd time the Eagles have had to defend in their own territory against the Redskins. So 4th down and 4. Here's Brunell with the pass, and it's caught by Betts, and Betts will have the 1st down. So Joe Gibbs going for it on 4th and 4 with his team trailing 10-0, needed 4 and got 6 yards.
Liddell Betts has created a nice niche for the Washington Redskins and what he does. You see right here, he's split out to the left side. He's already got the linebacker outflanked. They run across with Chris Cooley. It's kind of like a little pick play. Watch the linebacker get picked trying to go from inside out right there. You get him freed up in the flat. You've got all your attention out there on Santana Moss, and you sneak Liddell into the flat.
From the 29, and the handoff is to Antoine Randall, who's going to throw to Cooley in the end zone, and the ball is knocked away. Incomplete. And it was Brian Dawkins defending downfield, and we know that Antoine Randall, former quarterback at Indiana, but Dawkins is slow getting up for the Eagles.
There's Chris Cooley. We'll see how he sells. This comes out. Looks like he's going to block on Lito Shepard. Lito Shepard, Sean Considine, not sure, because Antoine Randall, remember, he almost got tackled for a loss in the backfield. Brian Dawkins came over and saved the day on that one.
Definitely, because he was open in the end zone till Dawkins came there.
The most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
This is our country.
Y'all ready to order? And y'all ready to check me out in the amazing picture clarity of DirecTV HD? It's broadcast in 1080i. I totally don't know what that means, but I want it.
For the best in HD, get DirecTV.
NFL Sundays, sponsored by Burger King, who reminds you to have it your way. By DLP, HD TV powered by DLP. It's amazing. It's the Mirrors. By Casino Royale in theaters November 17th. And by Chevrolet, America's brand Chevy, an American revolution.
Heavy rains and thunderstorms expected. We have a drizzle right now that seems to be increasing. Brian Dawkins on the sidelines. Quentin Michael, number 27, has replaced him. It'll be 2nd down and 10. And the pitch to Liddell Betts. And Betts fumbles. And it's recovered. Darren Howard knocked the ball loose, but the Redskins will maintain possession, bringing up 3rd and long. There is Dawkins made a great play in the end zone, defending against Cooley. And he is back in there right now. 5 Pro Bowls in the last 6 years. And Clinton Portis with the injured hand, questionable as to his return. That could be big.
That's huge. I mean, we've talked about the inconsistency for this offense during the year, and with him out of this game, a lot of that responsibility is going to fall right on to Liddell Betts.
14th play of the drive, and the pass off the hands of Brandon Lloyd, incomplete. So 4th down coming up. So Portis is in the locker room, and Liddell Betts has to handle the area, yet the Redskins have rushed for 71 yards already in this game. And they're going to bring on Nick Novak, the hero of last week. His 47-yard field goal won the game in an improbable finish against Dallas.
Watched Novak in the warm-ups and struggled a little bit with his kicking. His planting foot was having a hard time getting his foot down. We'll see what he does here.
Well, it may be wet on the field now. 48-yard attempt, which would be his longest. And Novak's kick, no good. So the Eagles maintain a 10-0 lead in this game early here in the second.
How is it possible? Millions of tiny mirrors on something so small. I've never seen anything so colorful, so clear, so real. Have you? It's amazing. It's the mirrors. We have to show everyone.
HDTV powered by DLP. See how millions of tiny mirrors make the picture amazing.
Welcome to Lowe's. Can I help you?
Yes. I need some of that,
garland?
Yes. And how about one of those, you know, I can see it in...
A wreath?
Yes. And I also need one of those with the people in the snow.
Giant inflatable snow globe.
In the nose.
Rudolph and friends inside?
Yes.
At Lowe's, you'll find plenty of everything you need for the holidays.
Ornament hooks?
Including plenty of help.
About this high.
Your husband?
Yes.
Right behind you.
Hey, got one of these,
Warner step ladders.
Lowe's. Let's build something together.
She is the team mom. Her boys are big, so she's big on Campbell's Chunky. Hearty meals to feed an NFL-sized hunger. Team Mom, we salute you. Campbell's Chunky, meals that fill you up right.
Accept it.
Get him the suit.
This generation's Animal House.
Ask me about my wiener!
Freaking hilarious.
Can't believe this is a class.
Unaccepted. Also available on HD DVD.
Hey, ask me about my wiener!
Springfield attacked. Who can save the day?
How about realistic? How about you bite me?
Not him. G.I. Doe. And 24's Kiefer Sutherland is in command.
This means war.
Plus, catch the biggest milestone in Simpsons history. The world premiere movie trailer, only during the new Simpsons at 8/7 Central tonight on Fox.
The Eagles 10-0 after the missed 48 yards by Novak as the rain has picked up. It'll be first down on the 38-yard line after the miss. That was the last drive. They started on the 32, the Redskins. Hand off to Westbrook. He gets the first down. Pretty nifty running by Brian Westbrook. But how many times can you get into Philadelphia territory if you're Washington? You lose Portis. You're running the ball very well. And you see yourself down by 10. Right now, the Eagles are in an early command.
Well, you know, the big thing is we saw the weather there when we came back. And you saw how the rain is starting to pick up. And, you know, points are going to be at a premium early in the game as the weather starts to get worse, the field conditions start to deteriorate. So you get down into a scoring opportunity, you've got to take advantage of them early in the game.
First down at midfield for the Eagles. And a false start penalty will be called.
False start. Offense number 67. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
So Jamal Jackson, the center, called for the false start, bringing up first down and 15. From the 45-yard line, making the handoff is McNabb, and fires incomplete. He was being chased by Philip Daniels, and the pass broken up by Carlos Rogers. So the Eagles have been a quick strike team all year, and they showed it in their one touchdown. First down 84 yards. McNabb to Dante Stallworth.
Yeah, first down, backed up in their end of the field, and they come out with a big play. Watch the double move. Look at Sean Taylor bite that double move. They're in cover 2. That means he has no help over the top. You see number 23, Troy Vincent, trying to get in and help him out to make a play, but great play call by Marty Morningway and Andy Reid.
Westbrook. And a good play made by Andre Carter, the defensive end, and Westbrook stopped for no gain on the play. Westbrook coming in, averaging over 5 yards per carry.
Brian, Westbrook looked like he struggled a little bit with cutting. The field is wet and the grass is all covered with water right now. His best runs are going to be running downhill. He has those big offensive linemen getting a lot of push on those defensive linemen of the Washington Redskins.
And Carell Buckhalter, Tony, has joined Westbrook in the backfield on 3rd and 15. McNabb back to the 35 to throw, has plenty of time. He completes the pass, and it's lost and picked up on a deflection. And running in for the score will be Buckhalter. It was off of Reggie Brown, and Carell Buckhalter, the running back, was there to pick it up and ran in untouched for a 55-yard TD.
A little bit of hustle pays off. You find yourself being in the right place at the right time. Another double move. Reggie Brown's open on the outside. You saw where Carell Buckhalter was. He just tries to run up to help out. All of a sudden, he gets a gift down the sideline for a touchdown.
Swarming to the ball offensively and defensively.
Yes. Buckhalter all the way out on the far sideline, Tony. That's exactly right. And Buckhalter's hustle pays off for the touchdown. And so David Akers is in now. And it's a 16-0 game. Eagles trying to get to 5-4 on the year. Akers' extra point is good. And with less than 5 minutes gone by in the second, it's 17-0. Brown, but Johnny on the spot is Buckhalter.
Good evening, Mr. Bond.
Brilliant. Explosive. Pulse-pounding. Exciting. The critics are raving. Daniel Craig rocks.
Quite the body count you're stacking up.
He could be the best 007 yet.
You're good.
Very. This Friday, Bond is back.
That lost hand. You killed me.
Casino Royale, one of the best James Bond films ever. Rated PG-13. Friday.
I got my whole life in this thing. Check out this new song I'm mixing. Still rough. All artists say that. Got the new Rockaware campaign. Shot it in Aspen. Think it's kind of cool. Love playing chess online. Hold on. This game is over. I wonder if he knows. Vacation photos you won't see in the tabloids. New Frank Gehry plans for my team in Brooklyn. See that? Cool. Just start organizing my world tour. Trying to be a rock star and a role model. Got to track all my investments because I'm retired, right? My passport says Sean, but you may know me by another name. Holla.
HP Pavilion Entertainment Notebooks with Intel Centrino Dual Mobile Technology. The computer is personal again.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Chevrolet, America's brand, Chevy, and American Revolution.
The completion of the 55-yard play, Buckhalter scoring. And a 17-0 lead for Carell Buckhalter. That is his first touchdown of this season. And if this were a Philadelphia Flyers hockey game, Reggie Brown would get an assist on that goal.
That one might find its way back into the playbook at some point later in the year. Run that double move to the outside. We got Carell in the flat, and then we'll bring him down your way. A little hook and ladder.
Akers will kick off once again. So as the rain continues, and one of the things when you know that the weather is going to diminish, you want to get on the board as many times as possible early, and it's 17-0 right now. Brock Cartwright at the 9-yard line. Well, Well, we said the Eagles don't want to lose another division game at home. Lost to the Giants early. This is an important game, and right now Andy Reid has to say, boy, that bye week has helped us to this point, both sides of the ball.
I think it was good for him to get away. He gave him the whole time off during the week, even sent the coaches out after Wednesday. So don't sit around, don't mull about it, don't talk about it. Just get away from it, get them refreshed. Now remember, they were one of the first preseason games of the season in the Hall of Fame game, and then they were one of the last teams to have a bye. And Andy Reid just felt that was a lot of football early in the season. Get away, get refreshed, let's get recharged for the second half of this season.
And after this play, I got to tell you, Andy Reid was not a smiling mood, but we met him for our production meeting the other day, and Tony Siragusa just broke him up. And there's a penalty right now. Tony, you were just what the doctor ordered for Andy Reid.
Well, a little hit of reality right there, telling him how, it's like being a broadcaster.
Offense number 66.
He found it very amusing.
It remains first down.
Derek Dockery with a false start. Bringing up 1st and 15. There you see the Redskins leaders. Now they have been in Eagle territory 3 times. They did go for it on 4th down and 4 the last time. That was stymied, and then the missed field goal by Novak. Redskins on their own 33. The pitch to Liddell Betts following his blocking. And Liddell Betts, 11 yards shy of the first down, picks up 5. And for a game break, here's Chris Rhodes.
All right, Dick, earlier this week, Chad Johnson said, start throwing me the ball. He wasn't quite that kind. Here, Carson Palmer is to a wide-open Johnson. Palmer, 10 of 11, 198 yards. The Bengals up 21-zip on the Chargers. Back to Dick, Moose, and Goose.
Boy, Cincinnati trying to get back in there, trailing the Baltimore Ravens by 2 games. They have slumped as of late. San Diego, well, they've won 7 in a row in this month. Today they're trailing. The pitch going out to Betts to the left side. And Liddell Betts is run out of bounds by Jeremiah Trotter after a pickup of 5.
A little misdirection right there. When you play a disruptive, aggressive defense, you want to try and mix in some misdirection to challenge that flow. They fake it out to the right, and then the quick pitch back to the left to Liddell Betts. But Jeremiah Trotter, not just a plugger. He's not just one of those guys that comes up and creates confusion in the line, but shows a little bit of sideline-to-sideline ability.
Betts is doing what he can, but without Clinton Portis in there, and you have to throw the ball, you're playing into the Eagles' hands, especially being down by 17. 3rd and 5. Brunell does it, and incomplete. Santana Moss was the intended receiver. So it's 4th down, and the Redskins will have to kick. Redskins actually have played better here in Philadelphia than at home in recent years. In the last 6 years, they're 3-3. Won only 1 game on their home field. That's not the case today, as Derek Frost will kick it, and Reno Mahi will be back deep. Mahi watches it go into the end zone for a touchback. So we'll take a timeout. Rain continues to fall, and the Eagles are up by 17.
Hey, over here. Why don't you switch to our network? We're just like them.
Are you reliable?
Excellent question.
How about for email or downloading music?
Why not?
Only one wireless network is America's most reliable for calls, downloads, and emails.
That is a problem, and we are working on it.
Verizon Wireless. It's the network.
Looking for your dream home theater system? Circuit City makes it simple. Circuit City's the place to find Sony, Samsung, Panasonic, and more. Stop by today for a game piece and a chance to win a Panasonic Plasma home theater system. Enter your code at CircuitCity.com for a chance to win great prizes, including a $4,000 home theater featuring a Panasonic 50-inch plasma TV and surround sound system with monster cables and professional installation from Fire Dog. Only at Circuit City.
Rib lovers, get to Chili's for the best new baby back flavors from around the country. Mix and match any 2 from 5 authentic flavors. 2 tastes, 1 plate. Only at Chili's.
I want my Chili's, baby back ribs.
What movie star has the moxie to infiltrate a new Family Guy?
If she's as ugly as I think, I'll look at her once and then I'll go bleh all over the place.
It's the ingenious Drew Barrymore.
What is it? 1 bedroom, 1 bath?
It's a whole apartment.
Are her parents brother and sister?
All new, followed by The War at Home tonight on Fox. Viewer discretion advised.
My name is Major Andrew Morton, and on behalf of American Forces Network Iraq, here in Baghdad, I'd like to wish everybody a happy Veterans Day. I'd like to say hello to my beautiful wife, Melinda, and our 2 kids, Katie and Luke.
And thank you. As Veterans Day yesterday, and we're pleased to show you the troops from the area who are rooting for one of these 2 teams. The Redskins have the big edge in time of possession, but they pay off on points. 17-0. The Eagles start from the 20. Brian Westbrook goes outside and gets the first down. Nothing up the middle, and Westbrook may be guilty of a late hit.
There it is. Just came in.
Sean Taylor, or maybe the victim, I should say, of a late hit. And Sean Taylor, maybe some of that frustration starting to show for the burgundy and gold.
He was way out of bounds when he got hit. This is definitely a flag.
After the runner was out of bounds, personal foul, late hit, defense number 21, 15-yard penalty, and a first down.
That's exactly what it is frustration. Sean Taylor got beat on the double move, but watch the blitz here. Watch the Philadelphia Eagles pick it up. You're going to get a cross blitz. There you go. Jamal Jackson picks that up. There's Thomas Tapei to get the other side, and then the patience and the push of Brian Westbrook, and then he bounces outside where he's most dangerous.
And he ran away from his former teammate Troy Vincent in the process. First down, and there's McNabb, wants to go deep. And good coverage downfield as Greg Lewis covered by Carlos Rogers. Right now, let's check in with a more wet Tony Siragusa.
Yeah, it's not too bad down here. Just got to report Clinton Portis is out. He has a broken right hand, and he will not return for today's game, obviously.
Devastating to the Redskins.
You know, every once in a while, you just go through a year where you have one problem, you get that healed, you get that taken care of, then something else happens. You just can't stay healthy at all that season.
Eagles with 2nd and 10. Here's Westbrook. And good play by Warwick Coleman, the weak side linebacker, only a gain of 2. Let's check to see how the Eagle offensive leaders have fared thus far. Donovan McNabb, touchdown pass. Stallworth with an 84-yard grab, and Westbrook 6 carries for 45 yards. The Eagles don't like to run the ball that much. They passed coming into this game 90 more times than they have run. 3rd down and 8. McNabb has time and bounces it. Incomplete, intended for Stallworth. That'll bring up 4th down.
He had a lot of time in that pocket. They did a good job picking up the pressure. Maybe it just didn't look good from Donovan's perspective. Didn't want to take a chance and get it in there. Dante Stallworth and Marcus Washington are trying to figure out what happened on that one.
This will be the first punt of the game for the Eagles' Dirk Johnson. Antoine Randall L., who has handled the ball a good deal in this game, and they'll blow that play dead. It'll be a false start 5-yarder against the Eagles.
False start. Offense number 96. A 5-yard penalty. It remains 4th down.
See if this is where Clinton Portis might have hurt his hand. He's got it all tight, wrapped up in there with Brian Dawkins.
Portis carried 6 times for 25 yards, including a 10-yard run before he had to come out. So they mark off the 5 yards, and Dirk Johnson will kick it again.
Better than the last one.
Randall L. And it'll go in, and a touchback right here. Stay tuned to Fox Sports. 2nd game of our doubleheader. The battle for playoff position heats up. Steelers and the New Orleans Saints. Some of you will see the Cowboys and the Cardinals, and of course the NFC West battle between the Rams and the Seahawks. But what do you think about that Steeler game right now, and coming in, they only have 2 wins this year against a very strong New Orleans team.
Well, I tell you, the New Orleans Saints, we saw them last week. They have got a lot of playmakers on that team, and I was really impressed with how much better their defense played than I thought they would have as the season started. So, you know, we've talked about a lot of teams in the NFC, but we really don't talk about the Saints. I think we've been waiting to see what kind of team they actually are, but I was impressed with them last week.
You actually liked him before the season started. Don't be humble. Liddell Betts, and the fake and the pass caught by Mike Sellers, and the tackle made by Sheldon Brown after a gain of 5. Brunell still hasn't been able to go very deep yet, and of course protection is a big part of that, Darryl.
Well, that's one of the things that you have to balance when you go against the Eagles defense. They're a big play defense. It's an all or nothing style of approach. You're going to hit them for a big play every now and then, but you've got to be willing to have some negative plays and be able to respond from those during the course of the game. And right now it seems like Al Saunders isn't willing to get down that field. He might be worried about the protection up until this point because they've really struggled in those A-gaps between the guards and center.
And that's been the case most of the year, other than maybe the Jacksonville game. Here is Liddell Betts trying to go off the left side, but cutting through is Jeremiah Trotter. The Eagle defense has been great, and we have another yellow flag thrown.
Yeah, you're going to get him on a horse collar there. Jeremiah got right up. He's going to argue with it about it, but it sure looked like one from here initially.
Personal foul, illegal tackle, defense number 54. A 15-yard penalty and a first down.
Now, if you get inside the pads or the shirt and drag him straight down, and then the big thing is how that body rolls. Oh, you see right there. That is exactly how that high ankle sprain or that broken lower leg happens. All the way to the tackler, comes onto the back of the running back. And Liddell Betts, I'll tell you what, you're lucky that the link does not have artificial turf, because I think you'd be heading to the locker room right now. That was pretty nasty looking.
Remember, you don't have to get in the pads anymore. You can do it by the shirt. It's one of the new rules this year. Redskins can not afford losing another running back. Under 7 minutes to go. And here is Brunell going deep for the first time today. And the pass is caught by Brandon Lloyd. And the first big play of the game by the Redskins, good for 43 yards.
Well, Dick, you talked about the pressure. They're bringing it all again here. They're overloading the right side of Washington's offense. They turn the farthest guy loose. That gives Mark Brunell the time. And when you go up against a defense that is very aggressive, the best opportunity for you is when they do blitz. And Al Saunders was actually looking forward to the opportunities, but I think you made a good point. I don't think he was confident in their ability to protect Mark Brunell. But it's 17-0. What have you got to lose now?
Absolutely. First down on the Eagles 17. Handoff is to Liddell Betts. And he had Sellers blocking in front of him. Matt McCoy holds him to a 2-yard gain. So this is the 4th time in the first half that the Redskins have marched into Eagle territory, and right now have nothing to show for it.
You know, watching the Eagles defensive line, especially the defensive ends, we're getting a lot of one-on-one matchup, but they're not getting the pressure. There you go, Jim Johnson right there. He feels like he has to bring those linebackers, but they need to get pressure with 4 guys, then 4 guys up front when they get the one-on-one.
So they've connected on the passes lately as Liddell Betts on 2nd down and 8. Only picks up a couple going off the right side as Jeremiah Trotter comes in to make the play. So it'll be 3rd down and slow getting up.
You got Brian Dawkins, if you watch him here on the outside. Watch how he comes in and lights up this lineman and just causes the back to go and make a cut. He was one of the main reasons right there why that play was stopped by Jeremiah Trotter for no yards.
And Michael Lewis, who went to the Pro Bowl 2 years ago, coming out of the field, coming out. Quentin Michael, who had replaced Brian Dawkins early, has come in. And we will have a timeout called by the Redskins with a 3rd and 6 coming up in just under 5 minutes remaining in the half. Redskins want to get back in this game somehow.
Can FBI crisis negotiators stop the king of shock radio?
It is an FM Jerry Springer freak show.
From driving a fan to murder?
Take him off the air.
Don't you hang up. I'll shoot this girl.
Standoff. All new Followed by House. Fox Tuesday. Viewer discretion advised.
Back here in Philadelphia, the timeout called by the Redskins. That's the first timeout by either team. And what we've seen thus far is Philadelphia, unlike the last several games, finally cashing in the first half. That's been their problem.
Well, the big thing is what they do now, because it's really been two big plays. They hit Dante Stallworth on the big play coming back up off their 14-yard line, and then the great hustle play by Carell Buckholder on the fumble on the one play for their 2 touchdowns. But Washington has really controlled the flow of the game. They have to get points here, and you got to have 7. You can't settle for 3 here.
Well, they got 2 downs really to get the first down, considering they went for it earlier. And there is Brunell's pass, and not even close.
Man.
Moss was the intended receiver, and there were 3 Eagles right in the neighborhood. So that'll bring up 4th down. Last time they had the ball, the Redskins went for it on 4th and 4 when they were farther out, and then had to settle for a field goal. Now they're going to just try for the 3. Nick Novak, who missed one from 48. This will be a 32-yard attempt.
We talked about watching him in warm-ups. He even struggled from this distance right here, guys. I know we pointed out the plant foot, but he was missing him right and left in warm-ups.
And this time Novak's kick is good, so the Redskins get 3, and it's a 17-3 Eagle lead.
Well, we visited with Brian Dawkins yesterday. I think he was ready to put the pads on and get onto the field at that point, and he's really followed it up today. He's getting his team ready this afternoon. He was the one guy that said, we're waiting around for things to happen. We have got to go out on the field with a sense of urgency and start making plays. And he has led by example. That was a huge play coming all the way across the field on the gimmick play. Antoine Randall going for Chris Cooley. Brian Dawkins saved the day. He's been everywhere on the field this afternoon.
150th career game played. 17-3 lead. And of course, the big story in college football around the country was that stunning victory by Rutgers over Louisville on Thursday night. And the one player who played for Rutgers is, of course, the tight end L.J. Smith, who was on the sidelines for that victory with Donovan McNabb, played only a couple of years for Greg Schiano, the coach. He said, you know what? I was on the winning side only 7 times in 4 years, and I was so emotional when all the fans in red stormed onto the field. And I was at the first meeting with the coach, and he said, look to your left, look to the right. One of those 2 or both will not be with you. So an emotional game, and everyone talking about Rutgers, and of course later on the BCS standings, and we'll see how far up the Scarlet Knights have moved in that battle.
Maybe more important than that, the shakeup at the top with Auburn and Texas, all those one-loss teams. Cal going down yesterday, Michigan and Ohio State able to keep everything together for that big matchup. But boy, there was a lot of teams that were maybe thinking about getting into that national championship game that didn't live up to expectations yesterday.
The Golden Bears going down. University of California. Novak's kick returned by Reno Mahe. Mahe is still on his feet, and the flag goes down as he is tackled, and 3 more flags, so 4 in all, as he brings it out to the 37-yard line. And of course the BCS championship and the major bowl games in the BCS will be carried by Fox. And later today, the latest ratings in the BCS.
Personal foul. Grasping the face mask. Defense, number 21. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Just a good effort by Reno Mahe, just breaking tackles, getting in there. You see, boy, that's a double face mask. He's got it.
Sean Taylor.
Boy, he's having a rough day.
Penalties have been about even. But if you're the Redskins, you don't want to be that undisciplined.
You can't do that, Sean.
When you're down by 14 points to give the Eagles
He's still lobbying
a break. They are in Redskin territory at the 47. First down, Brian Westbrook. And he gets to the 44-yard line as we go back to Los Angeles. Chris Rose for a game break. Chris.
All right, Dick, time to check in on the league's lone unbeaten for the first time. The Colts at home against the Bills. Peyton Manning to Ben Utek, and Utek, you turn it over. Terrence McGee, a pretty good return guy, so when he gets the ball in his hands, he knows what to do. 68 yards for the score, and the Bills and Colts tied at 10 at the break. Dick, back to you.
Oh, what a surprise, as the Colts trying to become the first team in NFL history to start 9-0. How many years in that in a row? As Westbrook carries up the middle for 3.
Right now, the Philadelphia Eagles, this is a critical drive because Washington has really controlled the flow of the game without the big plays. They got to start this drive at Washington's 47-yard line. They cannot afford right now not to convert and get put in that situation where, you know, David Akers is going to make this one. They're going to turn it back to the Redskins.
3rd and 3, short drop and incomplete to Hank Baskett. First time they have gone to the rookie from New Mexico today. So that will bring up 4th down, and we saw the Colts 9-0, trying to become the first 9-0 team in consecutive years. Antoine Randall L going back deep. Dirk Johnson will kick. Randall L with an 87-yard punt return for a touchdown against the Colts in Week 7. So you know what he can do.
Well, they've gotten off to a good start. Philadelphia kind of got through that, but right now they have not been playing well the last few series. They started that drive at the 47 of Washington. There's Dirk Johnson, and he shanks the punt.
It'll bounce at the 24, and the Redskins will take that without question with 3:22 to go in the half, and the crowd showers this field along with the rain with booze. Well, beginning in January, Fox will be the new home to the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, the FedEx Orange Bowl, the Allstate Sugar Bowl, as well as the new Tostitos PCS National Championship game. College football's biggest games are coming to Fox Sports beginning in January of 2007. How exciting is that for all of us at Fox to get the best, the cream of the crop in college football? Redskins running it 6 more times than they've thrown it. First down at the 24. Clinton Portis out with a broken hand. And Liddell Betts on the delay. Flag goes down. Betts picking up about 3. And appears to be against Washington.
Holding. Offense number 66. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Washington now puts themselves in a difficult situation. I mean, that was a big transition right there with Philadelphia getting the ball with the face mask on Reno Mahe on that kickoff. Philadelphia takes over at the 47. They shank the punt. Washington, a great opportunity to get down the field, get some points before halftime. They have a holding penalty on the first play of their series.
And they lead the NFL in holding penalties coming into the game. First down and 20. Brunell overthrows his intended receiver, Brandon Lloyd.
It's a good thing he overthrew Brandon Lloyd because Brian Dawkins was probably going to make him wish he hadn't gone up for that one.
The Eagles have been in control of this game, not so much as the time of possession and what's been going up and down the field, but as far as making the plays that had to be made effectively, it's been all Philadelphia.
Yeah, they've been opportunistic, but you know, Washington has been moving the ball. They've missed a field goal. They had to settle for a field goal in that last drive, but I don't know. If I'm Philadelphia, I'm not feeling too comfortable right now.
Second down and 20, Betts. Betts trying to follow John Jansen, his right tackle, picking up 3 yards, and once again Jeremiah Trotter. How many times have we mentioned Trotter's name already in this first half? Jansen slow to get up. Trotter played 2 years with the Redskins, by the way. This is his 9th season in the NFL. Eagles will call their first timeout of this first half with 2:48 remaining in the first half, and the Saints and the Redskins featured game in the second half of our doubleheader, or I should say the Steelers, Saints and the Steelers. Rams and Seahawks, second time this year going at each other.
That's going to be a good game. I mean, the Seattle Seahawks stole one from the St. Louis Rams in St. Louis on that crazy ending. You know, St. Louis was a team everybody looked at. They got off to a great start. They're in a little bit of a slump right now, so that That streak has been broken out in Seattle. The winning streak was broken by Minnesota, so we'll see what happens with the St. Louis Rams, see if they can claw themselves back into that NFC West.
Trail Seattle by a game in that division. 3rd down and 17. Pressure and flags are down. And the Eagles took off in a hurry, and as a result, the Redskins, another false start for them. Can't handle the blocking.
False start. Offense number 77. 5-yard penalty. It remains 3rd down.
Randy Thomas. What about the protection aspect of this thing, Darryl?
Well, the big thing right now is Jim Johnson knows that Al Saunders' offense is a timing offense that has hot reads in it. So if you overload a side, and that side has too many guys coming that they can protect, the receiver has to break the route off short. Right now, you're sitting at 3rd and 22. I mean, they're gonna bring pressure to force the guys to break routes. No, they sit in coverage.
And the handoff to Liddell Betts, and all he can do is bring it out to the 20-yard line. About 14 yards short of where they need to go. Sean Barber that time. And the Eagles call another timeout, their second, so they have their eyes on more points before intermission here.
Well, the offense better wait for that defense to come off the field and shake their hands and congratulate them, because that was an important series for that defense to go out and make a stand. Washington made it easier on them with a couple of penalties that backed them up, but I tell you, Washington missed a golden chance to really kind of seize some momentum in this game going in at halftime.
Hey, Darryl, if I told you that the Redskins have had the ball for how many minutes? 30 minutes? Is it 23-8? Right around that area. They're dominating time of possession, have rushed for 81 yards, which is pretty good for a half. And I said, you know, they're way out of this game at 17-3 at this point.
But Joe Gibbs has got to go in at halftime, regardless of what happens from this point on, and say, listen, we've given up 2 huge plays for 14 points. Otherwise, it's a 3-3 ball game. We're controlling the flow of the game, but we're just having critical breakdowns.
Derek Frost kicking from about the 10. Short kick picked up by Reno Mahe. Mahe already into Washington territory and is down at about the 45-yard line.
Well, here's the first of those big plays coming off kind of backed up situation, their own 14-yard line. They get Sean Taylor to bite on the double move, and Dante Stallworth goes 86 for a touchdown. And then Reggie Brown has the catch and a good hustle play by Karel Buckhalter. By hustling downfield in that area, he's right there to pick up that fumble and return it in for a touchdown.
And that's what it was. It was a fumble recovery for a touchdown. There you see, running more than passing. A far cry from what has been the trend for the Eagles. And the ball tipped away. And a play made by Andre Carter got a hand on that screen pass. And you can be sure with a lead, if the weather does deteriorate, they'll run the ball some more in the second half.
Well, they're going to try and get Brian Westbrook out on the screen, but what he's got to do, he's got to find a clear path to Donovan McNabb. You got all those people in there. Andre Carter, what a heck of a play to get back in and deflect that ball. You recognize the screen, you fall back into the throwing lane, read the eyes of the quarterback.
There you see the time of possession over 9 minutes, favoring the Redskins, who have a 3-man rush, and McNabb getting some time, going way back, fires it away. And there was a receiver in the neighborhood as Andre Carter put the pressure on, and it appeared that L.J. Smith.
Intentional grounding. The quarterback was out of the pocket, and the ball got back to the line of scrimmage.
Talk about how the early start with 101 yards on the first 4 attempts. 1 for 7 for only 20 yards since then. 2:20 to go in the first half. 3rd down and 10. Pressure up the middle on McNabb. And his pass incomplete as he was in a passing motion. Pressure that time by the safety Troy Vincent, the former Eagle.
Well, here comes the pressure from Washington now. Look at Sean Taylor coming late. Now, one of the things that he does, he's also watching Brian Westbrook on the screen. He's going to be figured on right there. That's who he's looking at. Once he sees him lock up, now he turns himself loose to Donovan McNabb. But they were going to utilize Sean Taylor to watch Brian Westbrook on some of those screen situations. And the Philadelphia Eagles, another opportunity with the ball inside Washington territory late to get some more points, let it slip through their fingers.
Fair catch called for by Antoine Randall L at the 20. And they should get a play off and will before the 2-minute warning, as the Redskins still have 2 timeouts remaining. Mark Brunell has completed 7 of 15 for 81 yards. And the longest play was a 43-yarder to Brandon Lloyd.
Well, they need to get back to those opportunities. When the Eagles are blitzing, they've got to stretch the field vertically, take those shots.
I think also, if you look at Mark Brunell, when he doesn't have pressure on him, he needs to go and relax in the pocket. It seems like his feet keep moving, and he's very uncomfortable in the pocket, even when he doesn't have pressure on him.
We saw Philip Daniels trot into the locker room. First down, and Brunell handing off to Liddell Betts. Good run by Liddell Betts, accelerating quickly and getting to the 40 for a gain of 20 yards. And the 2-minute warning here in Philadelphia. Weather is held up to a great extent, but the Eagles are leading 17-3.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by the new AT&T. Your world delivered. Trucks on the road.
This is our country.
This is Gary Poole, a genial guy from Trenton, New Jersey. Gary's been married for almost 10 years, but until a recent trip to McDonald's, didn't know it. Gary had fresh brewed premium roast coffee with his McGriddles, and it was like he was seeing her for the very first time.
He had no idea we were married.
Gary thought she was cute, so it was okay.
It's like we're newlyweds all over again.
Start your morning with richer, bolder premium roast coffee and add a warm, tasty McGriddles. Wake up and smell your life.
I hope there aren't any other wives.
FedEx presents the Air and Ground NFL Players of Week 9. The New Orleans Saints' Drew Brees completed 75% of his pass attempts for 314 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. LaDainian Tomlinson ran 18 times for 172 yards and 3 touchdowns in the Chargers' win over the Browns. Vote for the FedEx Air and Ground NFL Players of the Week at FedExFootball.com.
Hi, this is Captain John Sheehan from Baghdad. I want to say a big shout out to my wife Debbie and my 2 boys, Michael and John, 2 future hogs. Roll, Skins, roll.
All right, thank you very much. 2-minute warning. Redskins still have 2 timeouts remaining, and definitely hanging in this game if they can do something on this drive.
Yeah, they're shooting themselves in the foot. You see all the miscues they've had today. I mean, they're really controlling the flow. It's those 2 huge plays by the Eagles, but they've missed 2 chances with the drive starting in Washington's end.
Brunell racing back, pressure from Sheldon Brown, and flips it, and it's caught by Chris Cooley. Cooley's tackled by Brian Dawkins at the 45-yard line and gets 5 yards.
He needed to get out of bounds right there. Redskins
still have 2 timeouts remaining and lining up in a hurry here. Eagles lead the league most scores allowed in the final 2 minutes of either half this year. Brunell fires, knocked away. Terrific play. Randall L. defense beautifully by Sheldon Brown. Want to remind you, coming up on the Visa Halftime Report, Kurt, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy will have scores and highlights from around the league, and the Fox Sports ticker has up to the second scores and stats. So the Redskins with you'd have to say at this rate, a big 3rd down and 5 right here, trying to get to midfield to keep their hopes going here before intermission. Liddell Betts, 16 carries, 67 yards in relief of the injured Portis. And the flip complete to Betts, but he is hit immediately. Sheldon Brown, and a flag goes down back at the 35 as Brunell got hit.
I think Darwin Walker just gave him 3 more plays.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense number 97. Grabbed the face mask of the quarterback. A 15-yard penalty and a first down.
That's a 5-yarder. That's just a 5-yarder. He gets it on, he knocks it down. I mean, he doesn't pull it either way. That's just a 5-yarder. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, he looks like he even just slipped there and got right off it. I don't think that's a 15-yard personal foul there.
Now, even 5 yards would have given him the first down, but I know that's not the point you guys are making. But once again, the Eagles are making ridiculous penalties on defense, and that's one of the reasons why they lost 3 straight before the bye week. Redskins on the Philadelphia 40. And Brunell throws it out of bounds. Good coverage downfield. Let's get a quick game break from Chris Rose in L.A.
All right, Dick, waning seconds of the first half in Minnesota. Brett Favre to Donald Driver. We call this going for a Sunday drive. 82 yards for the score. Favre's longest TD toss since an 84-yarder back in 2002. Also against the Vikings. Green Bay's up 3 at the break. Back to Dick, Moose, and Goose.
All right, Chris, thank you very much. And the Packers trying to draw even in the NFC North, trailing Chicago. They both would be 4 and 5 if the Packers can hold on. 2nd down and 10. Here's the pressure again on Brunell. And Brunell has it knocked away, so Brandon Lloyd was the intended receiver, and that time Duquay Thomas chasing Mark Brunell, who's not mobile, and Jim Johnson trying to take full advantage of that.
Well, he's bringing all that pressure right into his face, too. He's not even coming from the blind side. He's bringing it right into Mark Brunell's face. I think that's one of the reasons Tony talked about him not feeling real comfortable in the pocket, but watch it all come right there, right into his face. He's coming back from center, staring right at all those guys, getting turned free.
And that's exactly what Jim Johnson wanted to do, is have him move his feet.
Their 3rd and final team timeout.
Eagles call their last timeout, and Jim Johnson talking to one of his assistants on the sideline. So final timeout by the Eagles, and with 3rd down and 10, hope to get the ball back with the remaining time.
You know, a little bit in Mark Brunell's defense. When he gets out and he's scrambled and he's on the edge, those receivers need to go and do the scramble drill. They need to find a way to get open. Right now, they're just staying in their patterns. They're not moving with him and give him opportunities to go and throw the ball down the field.
And the other thing is, a couple of times Washington's been in a max protection scenario, so you've got 7 or 8 guys in and you've only got 2 or 3 guys out on that route. So when everything breaks down, he doesn't have many options to get the ball. But I agree, Tony, looking at it from up here, you're not seeing a lot of effort when that play breaks down from his guys working back, trying to find an open area for him to find them in.
3rd and 10 for the Redskins on the Eagles 40. The pitch goes to Liddell Betts, and Betts is going to be well shy of the first down as he carries to the 37-yard line, a 3-yard pickup, and Michael Lewis, who was shaken up before, coming up to make the play. Under a minute remaining. It's 4th down. And now the Redskins will call a timeout. Well, Joe Gibbs, what a weekend last week was. Not yet, but Joe Gibbs Racing got its 2nd consecutive NASCAR win last weekend when Tony Stewart won in Texas. And then on the football front, the Redskins beat the Cowboys in a wild finish, 22-19. Redskins, by the way, first team in history to score 22 points. That's an awkward score for 3 straight games. So big week for Gibbs. Didn't want to look when Novak kicked that field goal.
That's because he missed one a couple seconds earlier.
He said, I'm going to be better off. I have a better chance praying than watching.
Well, Washington's got their offense out on the field.
Yeah, this kick is way out of Nick Novak's range. He can't make this kick.
And if the Redskins don't get the first down, the Eagles, who are out of timeouts, would have better field position. Brunell's pass, and it's high off the hands of Brandon Lloyd. Incomplete, and so the Eagles will take over on downs with 48 seconds remaining in the half.
I don't know right there. Tony, what about the punter? Why don't we punt the ball, play good defense? You've had a few tough breaks here in the first half. Get in at 17-3. try and rally the troops right now. 48 seconds.
It's a lot of time for Donovan McNabb, 48 seconds. I agree. They should have gone and pinned him back and put their defense in a good situation and go and keep these guys out of the end zone.
Especially with McNabb, a quick strike offense. He can do it right here.
Don't give him any more opportunities, and don't forget about David Akers. David Akers has got a strong leg. You don't got to get much farther.
Eagles on their 37-yard line. No timeouts left. They go to Reggie Brown on the slant. And Brown is dragged down at the 45 by Rodgers. He gets 18 yards. So already the Eagles are almost in field goal range. Stops the clock with 29 ticks.
I guess the assumption was that the Eagles were out of timeouts. It wasn't going to be an easy task to get down in field goal range, but I don't know. I agree, Tony. Let's punt, play defense, get in at halftime, and try and figure out how to eliminate those big plays.
Remember, David Akers was once a member of the Redskins. 12 kicker since Akers left the nation's capital. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. McNabb is looking left. And the pass bounces in front of Reggie Brown with 25 seconds to go. It will be 3rd down and 10.
Miscommunication right there. Reggie Brown did something wrong on the outside. Donovan was coming his way right away. You saw the kind of rolled his eyes a little bit.
And anything down the middle of the field, the Eagles are going to have to really hustle to stop the clock to at least try to set up an Akers field goal attempt. McNabb, Stallworth can't hold on as he was hit hard by Carlos Rodgers. And that will bring up 4th down. And they're going to bring on Dirk Johnson. Looked like Donovan McNabb wanted one more chance.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. He's had enough chances from this part of the field. It seems they get around this part of the Washington end of the field and everything just kind of falls apart for him. That's 3 consecutive 3-and-outs from this spot on the field.
Redskins still have a timeout left, and the dangerous Antoine Randall L is back there. Kick will bounce at the 5, and the Eagles will down it at about the 2-yard line. Asalio Hansen does the honors after the 43-yard kick with 11 seconds to go. I don't think there's any secret what the Redskins will do now.
Yeah, take a knee, consider yourself lucky that in the last 3 possessions, the Eagles sat at 1st down on your 47 and your 45 twice, and were unable to get any points to add to a 17-3 lead. So very, very inconsistent offensive play by the Eagles to end that half. Washington get in, get the adjustments made. You kind of hung in there. There's a few big plays that got you to this position, but the Eagles with a chance to really kind of take control of this game into the 2nd quarter couldn't do it.
Both teams have really missed opportunities because the Redskins were in Eagle territory 4 times. And it will wind up like that. And that is the end of the first half with the score, the Eagles 17 and the Redskins 3. Fox NFL Sunday will continue with the Visa halftime report after these messages and a word from your local Fox station.
Fox NFL Sunday's doubleheader action continues with a huge interconference battle. It's do or die for Big Ben and the Steelers.
It's raining harder here in Philadelphia. The Eagles lead the Redskins 17-3 and will return for the start of the 2nd half after these messages from your local Fox station. And the rain falling here in Philadelphia and is expected to get even harder, and we may have a thunderstorm, and we have not had any turnovers in the game thus far, Darryl, and you know that when you have the wet ball, you're inviting turnovers.
Yeah, it's going to continue to deteriorate as the day wears on, too. This is supposed to get wetter and wetter. So, again, we talked about it in the first half, but critical here in the second half again. You know, if you're going to make your statement, make it early, and you wonder how much the weather will play a factor here in the second half.
The Eagles get the ball first, but first, the ball falls off the tee. So you're right, but it's getting very wet down on the field, and both teams have missed big opportunities in this game offensively.
Well, Philadelphia really had an opportunity to take control of the game at the end of the second quarter there. They had 3 consecutive drives that started around the 45, 47-yard line of the Washington Redskins, went 3 plays and had to punt. In all 3 of those situations, Washington, with their offense out on the field, had an opportunity to take advantage of Philadelphia's mistakes, but couldn't put anything together, and they continued to do what they did in the first half. They could get into Philadelphia's part of the field, but then they had breakdowns. They only got 3 points to show for everything they did in the first half. They missed another field goal attempt, so I don't know. It was a kind of a bizarre ending to that first half.
Rena Mahe from the 15. Gets a good return. Only the kicker is left, and it's Nick Novak who knocks him out of bounds after a gain of 35 yards.
Well, you can see what the quick strike of Philadelphia's offense did. They've only had the ball for 10 minutes. Washington controlling the play there with 20 minutes time of possession. Running the ball could become critical here in the second half. We'll take a look and see how that pans out. Washington has Portis out of the game with a broken hand.
There's the fantasy update. Stallworth and McNabb, the features. For the latest in fantasy stats, log on to foxsports.com. First down at the 49 of the Redskins. After the terrific kick return by Mahe and a handoff to Brian Westbrook to the 45. What about the weather, Tony?
You know, it's gotten very bad down here. The weather is definitely a factor. Talked to Greg Williams coming out. Go ahead, buddy. Go right by. Thank you. He said that not only do they have to tackle better, but they need to attack the ball. With this weather and the wet ball, that ball is going to be a lot easier to come out, so that he wants them to put their helmet on the ball and try and get it out the second half.
One thing we've seen is that the Eagles have had no problem getting in on Mark Brunell. No sacks in the game, but they certainly have forced Brunell out of his game. The Eagles have stalled in the last 4 drives of the first half. McNabb completes to Dante Stallworth, and he has a first down. They'll mark it at the 31. Rodgers on the play. So 14 for Stallworth, who caught an 84-yard touchdown pass in the first quarter. Troy Vincent, who saved the game last week for the Redskins by blocking Vanderjack's field goal attempt that would have won it. First time, he said, that he ever blocked a kick in his football career. There you see the third quarter scoring, and the handoff to Westbrook, but Holtman able to penetrate, and they'll lose a couple.
Washington Redskins ran this same blitz the previous play on the passing play. Philadelphia picked it up and got the ball out, but they're running that cross blitz here with their linebackers, and they're running right back into it. Warwick Holtman goes away from the play, finds his way back into the backfield. Thomas Tepe kind of lost track of him, expected somebody else on the backside to pick him up.
Second down and 12. McNabb grabbed by Stallworth, and it takes Vincent and Rodgers to drag him out of bounds, picking up 8 yards. Early moments here of the third quarter.
But a big cushion given by Carlos Rodgers to Dante Stallworth, so it's a little bit of a pitch and catch right there. We've seen it twice already here on this drive. Just a simple little toss to the outside to Dante Stallworth for a good positive gain.
Already over 100 yards for the 12th time in his career is the former Saint, Dante Stallworth. Third down and 4. McNabb pump fakes and going for Stallworth in the end zone, and it kind of hung up on him. And the 2 defenders in the end zone, the pass goes incomplete. So Akers will come on, and the Eagles will try to add to their lead that way.
Little double move on the outside again. We've seen Philadelphia get a touchdown earlier with Dante Stallworth on a double move. You see him on the outside right here. We've seen the little hitch. He does a little hitch and go.
Pass interference wasn't called.
wasn't called, there wasn't any.
And there's Kedrick Golston, who was shaken up earlier and came out of the game and then returned. So we'll take a timeout right here.
I don't think you're supposed to put coins in there.
Want to get away? Now you can. With Southwest Airlines Internet Specials, you can fly to over 60 destinations nationwide for just $49 to $159. Purchased by November 16th.
You are now free to move about the country.
The world's most capable Wranglers. Wrangler and Wrangler Unlimited, a new species from Jeep.
On game day, what's inside will change this place. Colors will be newer, things will be clearer, real will be realer.
Realer.
When the big men play, you'll see it all again for the very first time. Look. It's amazing. It's the mirrors.
HDTV powered by DLP. See how millions of tiny mirrors make the picture amazing.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 41. By Microsoft, software for the people-ready business. By Dodge, you can take life as it comes or you can grab life by the horns, Dodge. And by DLP, HDTV powered by DLP.
And they've taken Akers off the field, and on 4th down and 4, the Eagles are going to go for the first down. And there is McNabb's pass, and they've got it. Dante Stallworth with the first down to the 19-yard line. And so Akers would have been a 42-yard field goal attempt in the rain, and they decided to go for it, and they got 6.
Well, you're going to give this completion to Donovan McNabb and Dante Stallworth on the outside. But look at all the pressure right up there in the middle. Brian Westbrook kicks outside. William Thomas on the outside. Do a nice job of creating that pocket for Donovan McNabb, and it becomes a simple pitch and catch that we've seen a couple times already on this drive.
Stallworth, 4 catches for 112 yards, including the 84-yarder for the score. First down on the 18 of the Redskins.
Pretty gutsy call by Andy Reid on that 4th down.
Westbrook, and he gets decent running room as he charges down to the 15. 3-yard pickup for Westbrook, who has averaged over 5 yards a carry in 12 attempts today. McNabb on this drive has just thrown 1 incompletion. Percentage-wise, neither quarterback has lit it up. 7 of 20 for McNabb, 8 of 20 for Brunell. On 2nd and 7, McNabb stays on his feet and flips it, and it's caught at the 2-yard line by Westbrook. And it was Joe Salavea who seemingly had McNabb, not an easy guy to bring down. And the Redskins claiming that the pass should be incomplete. Either not control or didn't have both feet in.
Well, you can get to Donovan McNabb, but that's only half the job. Joe Salavea has got him trapped in the backfield, can't get him to the ground, and he gets outside and gets a little dump pass off to Brian Westbrook.
There's a reception. The receiver is down by contact.
And the official ruling is that it was a reception and down by contact. And what is Joe Gibbs going to do about this? Yes, he's going to throw the red flag out for a challenge. Both feet were in bounds. The question is, did Westbrook have control of the ball?
Looked like he had possession, his knees were down, and then the ball came out late as he was trying to get back up. But when you've got the officials huddled around there and a play that gives you a first down inside the 5, you got nothing to lose. It really looks like you see right now as he starts to get up. I don't know if he was touched by a Washington defender. Catch. Now he can get up. Now he's down right there. The question is, was he touched before that ball came out?
I don't think he was, but the question is maybe he did have the reception with the hand under the ball.
He's got the reception. The big question to me is it a fumble in Washington's ball at the 1-yard line, or was he touched before that and he's down at the 2?
Washington has challenged the ruling on the field. The pass, completion, down by contact.
Or fumble. That's really what I think. I think Joe Gibbs is resigned to the fact that this is a completion. What he'd like to see is catch, possession. He's not down. Now he's trying to get back up. Was he touched, or did that ball come loose before? And Washington's ball, 1st and 10 at the 1.
We'll take a timeout, come back with the decision.
Stick 'em, ha ha ha, stick 'em. Stick 'em, ha ha ha, stick 'em. Stick 'em, ha ha ha, stick 'em. Gonna run the beatbox in the best fucking
Coming to DVD.
You will be hunted by angels.
What is going on? We are in the middle of a war.
What are you talking about?
You asked what would be worth killing for.
The Da Vinci Code on 2-disc DVD November 14th.
UPS, covering more of Europe before noon than anyone. UPS, covering more ground faster than ever.
Jake Plummer and the Broncos head to Kansas City to battle Larry Johnson and the Chiefs. Thursday Night Football premieres with Broncos-Chiefs Thanksgiving night on NFL Network.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Apparently it was a reception. The question is, did the ball come loose before he was down by contact? If so, the Redskins would recover it.
Yeah, I think it's a catch. I think what the officials are trying to determine now is, does this ball come loose before Sean Taylor gets in? And I think it does. I think it's out before Sean Taylor hits him. So that's a fumble. And then Lamar Marshall, number 98, will come in and pick up the ball on the 1-yard line. So I think that this, you can see it slide out right. It's coming out right there before Sean Taylor gets there. And there's Lamar Marshall right there to pick it up and get his feet down. So I'm thinking it's 1st and 10 Washington on the 1-yard line.
I'm thinking you're right. Batting .500 is Joe Gibbs on challenges this year. Kind of low number for challenges for 8 games, huh?
Only 2.
Well, this is big in this game because the Eagles on the brink of going in for a score, or the Redskins take over.
Well, the players are discussing it down there on the field. You see John Runyon talking with Joe Salovey, and they're wondering if they should run off or stay on. They're getting wet right now. They're a little aggravated. They have to wait here in the rain.
Ron Winter will deliver the verdict.
After review, the receiver caught the ball. While he was on the ground, he was touched down. Then the ball came loose. Therefore, he is down by contact from the 1-yard line.
Wow.
First down. Washington is charged with a timeout.
I still don't agree.
It really looks like that ball is coming out before Sean Taylor makes contact. We know it's a catch. Now the big thing is the ball is coming out right now. You can't really.
Yeah, I think.
Wow. As you pointed out, Dick, that's a huge play. Huge play. 1st and 10 Washington on the 1, or the Eagles about ready to go in and go up 24-3.
They'll place the ball on the 2-yard line, and Joe Gibbs upset, perhaps understandably, but anyway, that's how they rule it, and the Eagles have a 1st and goal at the 2. McNabb hands off to Westbrook, and he gets it to the 1.
Cornelius Griffith and Joe Salavea stayed real low on that. It's tough now with the water on the field. You got to dig in. Those cleats are full of mud, and whoever gets lower and drives is going to go and win. And if the Eagles do, they're going to score a touchdown.
There you see the grass that's being dug up. Looks like the rain has let up a little bit. It's more of a driving rain. The wind has picked up, that's for sure. 2nd down and goal. McNabb. And overthrows Matt Strobel. And it'll be 3rd and goal. And Philip Daniels chasing after Donovan McNabb.
Look at the formation they have on the goal line. They've only got the 2 defensive tackles there. They've got linebackers up on the other spots there because Philadelphia is not in a goal line offense. They're staying with regular personnel. They've opened the formations up. So now they're transferring in. Now they're bringing in some big bodies now on this play, but an opportunity right there for Philadelphia, I think. Washington is defending you to throw the ball. I think they should have come out and run again with Brian Westbrook and attack near the tackles.
Now Nick Cole, who is a center, is lining up in the backfield, and he's blocking for Carell Buckholder, but he doesn't get it done. And the Redskins, who brought in 4 new players on that goal line situation, stopped the Eagles, maybe a loss of 2 on the play.
If you watch here, the defensive line for the Washington Redskins do a great job of penetrating. Right there, standing them up. And linebackers come in and gang tackling. We talked about it earlier about tackling, but gang tackling on the line, on the goal line is very, very important.
So the Redskins do a great job after the challenge goes against them, and David Akers on to try a field goal from 21 yards out. Great goal line stand by the Redskins. And Akers, who kicked one from 37 yards earlier, makes good from 21. And the Eagles lead 20-3, but could have been worse for the Redskins, who will get the ball for the first time of the second half when we come back.
Cliff, leaving us after 36 years and taking all of that know-how with you.
No matter how slammed we got, he ran his floor like a well-oiled machine.
Holiday rush. It was midnight and a huge shipment.
Master of logistics.
Can do, Cliff.
Seriously, what are we going to do without Cliff?
When I started out, I had a worksheet and a ballpoint pen. But now I have a system that has all my processes, inventory tracking, change orders, just like that. You'll be fine. I'm going fishing.
With the right software, a people-ready business keeps right on humming.
I want to go fishing.
Life is full of ifs. If in the blink of an eye, my 6-year-old has turned 16. If my family's future means the world to me. Choosing the right life insurance to protect life's ifs doesn't have to be as complicated or as costly as you think. MetLife is the largest provider of life insurance in the U.S. We help you create your personal safety net by listening to your needs, filling in gaps, and building on what you already have to help you prepare for life's many ifs. After all, we're MetLife.
No, I understand, sir. The problem is I don't have access to your records.
You sure you're a customer?
No, you need to do that in person. It's on a different system.
What can people do with the right software?
I've got all of your records in front of me. I can take care of it from here.
For starters, keep the customer happy.
Fox Tuesday, a young man's father is in a coma, but when the son becomes deathly ill...
Gotta love this family.
The only one who knows why isn't talking.
No amount of drugs will wake a man from a coma.
Put the syringe down.
I could go for a steak.
House all new after standoff. Fox Tuesday. Viewer discretion advised.
And back here in Philadelphia, Dick Stockton along with Darryl Johnston. Tony Siragusa, our field analyst downstairs. Andy Reid's Eagles lead 20-3 now, have to settle for a field goal after they had a first down on the 2. Wonder if there's a problem with the microphone for Ron Winter and maybe the coaches as well with the rain having an effect.
Something's going on.
They have to re-kick.
They got to re-kick it. They're going back out to...
Ineligible receiver did not report. They're going to have to re-kick this ball, guys.
So they're going to re-kick it.
Looks like they're still debating. They told me it was an ineligible receiver, did not report. They're going to have to re-kick the ball. So
I don't remember seeing a flag thrown. Obviously one was, so they'll kick it again. And Akers lines up. Does it take that long to put our microphones on?
We're not standing out in the rain, though. I'm sure they got to make sure that thing doesn't short on them.
On the field goal attempt, number 71 lined up as a guard. On the previous play, the third down play, he had reported as an eligible receiver playing tight end. He did not report out of that position and leave the game for one play. Therefore, it's an illegal formation, a 5-yard penalty, repeat fourth down.
That's Scott Young they're talking about. So Akers is on again. This will be a 25-yard attempt, 26. You got to keep those footballs dry to the best of their ability. Not easy. So they line up. It will be a 25-yarder. And they're going to blow this one off.
Timeout, Philadelphia. They're first.
Eagles call a timeout. You might say that things have ground to a halt here on the field goal attempt.
This is the 30-second timeout.
Well, Andy Reid's not happy that he had to use a timeout here for whatever the reason.
I'm trying to think why he would why'd have to go back and call the timeout. There's only 11 guys out there. They don't have too many. They've already had the penalty. So Scott Young could go back in at the guard spot. They've already paid that price.
Andy Reid, you said at the outset, the talk is over. We got to go out and play today.
They did for a quarter and a half.
And in a lot of ways have kept the Redskins in this game. But the Redskins have to do something on their own to challenge Philadelphia. Here's Akers again. This will be a 25-yard attempt. With the rain dripping from his helmet. It's perfect. And it is once again and officially Philadelphia 20, Washington 3. Well, that's over.
Easy up there.
Look around, and what do you see? A beautiful world for you and for me. Let's fall in love. Open your eyes, and what will you find? Let's fall in love. Rainbows and seashells. seashells and blue skies above. Now is the time for love. Look around and what do you see?
You wouldn't make it in pro football, but you can get inside with VCast. Download Madden's weekly game reports, get scores, stats, and more exclusively from Verizon Wireless. It's the network.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Fox NFL Sundays, sponsored by Verizon Wireless. Watch John Madden break down the games exclusively on VCast, only from Verizon Wireless.
Eagles lead 20-3 to try to go to 5-4 on the year, and the Redskins scrambling here, coming in with a 3-5 record. That is a scoring drive when 12 plays, eating up nearly 6 minutes. Akers will kick off. And the Redskins have not had the ball yet here in this third quarter. So for a team that likes to strike quickly, that was a pretty nifty exhibition of ball control by the Eagles.
Well, they've been good in the third quarter, but you know they've gotten off to slow starts. They kind of remedied that this afternoon by getting out to that lead, but they're still inconsistent. They're still out of sync, and that was kind of a phrase we heard when we were at the facility on Friday. Is we're not playing well as a team. Offense, defense, special teams working in conjunction together.
Rock Cartwright from inside the 5. All right, we know that the Eagles are sending people from the edges. They're sending people down the middle. And now you're Al Saunders. And you have Mark Brunell, who's gone deep only once. We have a rainy day. Where do the Redskins get to move the ball again to try to come back in this game?
I think you wait and see what Philadelphia is going to do. Are they going to continue to bring that type of pressure? Because the one time they did go deep, they connected with Brandon Lloyd for a big play. So if Philadelphia is insistent on coming with the pressure, and he told us he was looking forward to that for the opportunities to get the ball down the field, I say you got to take your shots regardless of the weather.
Starting from the 22. And Liddell Betts, who has 70 yards in 17 rushes, with Portis sidelined with the broken hand. Underneath, they go to the fullback Mike Sellers, who gets the first down up to the 35 and a 13-yard pickup.
The one area we really haven't seen him attack against Philadelphia's defense, too, is the middle of the field, and that was one of the areas that Jim Johnson, the defensive coordinator of the Eagles, was very concerned about. He said watching film on Mark Brunell, the one area that he was really throwing the ball well was the 15 to 20-yard area over the middle of the field. Philadelphia has done a good job of defending that area.
Two tight ends in the game. Taking the handoff for protection purposes. Cooley with the catch. And Cooley drags the defender out of bounds into Eagle territory at the 46-yard line. Brian Dawkins, this was good for 19.
Good play action fake, gets Chris Cooley all the way across the field on that bootleg action. He just gives Brian Dawkins a subtle little move where it looks like he's going to continue to go vertical and then breaks to the sideline. That was enough to get the separation to make the throw.
Cooley has a touchdown catch in 3 straight games, but Brunell has not thrown a TD pass since the third quarter, in the last 15 games. The slant, Santana Moss. And Moss inside the 40-yard line. Gets about 8 yards. Lito Shepard. Tony getting some refreshment.
Hey, I'm not up in the booth here, guys. I'm in the element.
We like you there. Second and 2. They hand off to Liddell Betts. Close to the first down with Darwin Walker trying to grab Betts from behind.
Washington coming out right now, making it look very easy moving this ball at the start of this drive. A good mix, some quick passes on the slants. A little bootleg for a big play to Chris Cooley earlier.
Speaking of Chris Cooley, the number on the back is totally obliterated now.
He's all over the field, Chris Cooley. Receiver, blocker, running with the ball.
Field's all over him.
First and 10 at the 35 of the Eagles. And Brunell fires it away, and right now for a game break, let's quickly check in with Chris Rose in Los Angeles.
All right, Dick, the Bengals' 21-point halftime lead is almost entirely evaporated. Phillip Rivers to Brandon Manu Maliuna. Rivers 18 of 26, 264 and 2 scores, and the Bolts are within 3. Back to Dick, Moose, and Goose.
Chargers coming in tied with Denver for first place in the AFC West, coming back. And Cincinnati looking up at Baltimore in the AFC North. Second down and 10 for the Redskins. Interception. Sheldon Brown. Still on his feet. Did not go out of bounds and goes in for a touchdown. A 70-yard interception returned by Sheldon Brown.
Critical mistake by Mark Brunell. Here comes your pressure inside right here. Watch on this throw how he's kind of bailing. He's going to kind of bail on the throw. Can't get enough on it. That's going to be picked. Now watch number 56, Sean Barber. He's the guy that gets the pressure. And then also watch him get in behind Sheldon Brown. He makes a good play early on by not clipping Mark Brunell. And then he gets in there to block Mike Sellers from trying to track him down behind. Sean Barber forces the interception and then escorts Sheldon Brown all the way in for 6.
And that's his first interception of the year, and only the 4th pick thrown by Mark Brunell this season. And David Akers with the extra point. And the Eagles have opened up a 24-point lead on Sheldon Brown's 3rd career touchdown on the interception.
Here you go, one Brooklyn-style pizza.
All right. What's a Brooklyn-style pizza?
What's a Brooklyn-style pizza? What are you, nuts?
You tell him, Ma!
It's good pizza, boss. Brooklyn-style pepperoni.
Big slice, big toppings.
Gotta fold it like this.
You call that a fold? Come on, fold it like a man.
I am folding
That's
like
ridiculous.
a man.
Get our new Brooklyn-style pizza with your choice of extra-large sausage or pepperoni for just $9.99.
Get the door. It's Domino's Brooklyn-style pizza.
Man has a square table. Is it cool for men to put a lime wedge in their beer?
I think so. It's like tropical. Plus, it prevents scurvy.
I had scurvy once.
Why don't we just hollow out a coconut, drop in a little umbrella, and call it a beer colada?
Really?
Who knows what they'll put in our beer next? Banana slices? Kumquats? I mean, where does it end?
I'll tell you where it ends. Right here. No fruit in beer.
Don't fruit the beer.
Man law?
Man law. Man law.
For great taste, there's no debate. Miller Lite.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and Mom didn't know that Dad's right behind her with a box and a bow.
A gift from Kay Jewelers means every diamond is hand-selected to match beautifully, and she'll absolutely love it.
Every kiss begins with Kay.
And here is the interception by Sheldon Brown, returning at 70, and the reaction of our troops. Redskin fans, these are Eagle fans. And it's great for them to watch today's game. Greater apparently for the Eagles supporters in Baghdad. Kick heading over for Rock Cartwright inside the 5. And Cartwright is down at the 27-yard line. Well, Tuesday at 9, 8 Central, watch the Emmy Award-winning smash hit House. All new at its new time. That's Tuesday at 9, 8 Central, right here only on Fox. Viewer discretion is advised.
You know, Jim Johnson being my defensive coordinator when I played with the Colts, I wouldn't expect him to let up on the pressure. He sees how Mark Brunell deals with pressure in his face. I would expect him to come at him play after play and keep him off balance.
Now, T.J. Duckett, who came over in a three-way trade with the Falcons for a third-round draft pick, has a clean jersey and carries the ball, and making appearance here, it goes straight ahead to the 40 for a 12-yard first down. Take a look at the Redskin leaders there, and Brunell with the big pick, 11 for 25. Liddell Betts, who has had to really carry the load today with Clinton Portis out with the broken hand suffered in the first half, 73 yards. And Cooley, the leading pass receiver, with 3. And T.J. Duckett is in there right now, and that's been one of the big questions as he goes out replaced by Betts. Where has Duckett been since they traded a third-round pick for him? First down at the 40, and here's Betts. Tripped up by Considine after a pickup of 6 as we go back to L.A. and Chris Rhodes.
Dick, I just showed you the Chargers get within 3 in Cincinnati. Well, the Bengals have bumped out the lead to 10. Carson Palmer to Chad Johnson. He said, send me the ball more this week. 9 catches, a team record, 226 yards. And, yeah, the Bengals are up 10. Back to Dick, Moose, and Goose.
We've been waiting for that one, that offense to kind of catch its stride for a while now. Carson Palmer getting back healthier. Chris Henry's back in the lineup.
Second and 4, and Brunell, and unable to hold on is James Thrash, who started his career with the Redskins, went to the Eagles, now back in Washington.
2 receivers in the same area, Moose. That's very unusual. Somebody had to have a breakdown there.
Yeah, the other thing is they're running the bootlegs out to the side, and they're cutting the field in half. So you've only worked in one half of the field when you're making those throws, and you end up with 2 guys right in the same area of the throw.
Clinton Portis on the sideline, and you can see out with the broken right hand. Been a rough year for Portis. When he has played, he's not been able to have the full load because they've had to protect him by bringing him out. Meanwhile, the Redskins, 3rd down and 4 on their own 46. And they'll blow that play dead. False start against Washington, so it'll be 3rd down and 9.
False start. Offense number 47. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
So Cooley jumped. Been a long day for the Redskins, coming off that exhilarating triumph against the Dallas Cowboys last week. This is a team that lost their first 2, won the next 2, and they thought they were on their way when they beat Jacksonville in overtime 36-30 as Brunell hit Moss in overtime, but they have dropped 3 of their last 4. 3rd down and 9. The slant to Brandon Lloyd, and it'll be 4th down as Lloyd is stopped 5 yards shy by William James. And there's an interesting story there. Wearing number 21, signed 2 weeks ago, was known as Will Peterson when he played for the New York Giants before injuries came on from 2001 until last year. Came over and now said, I want to be known as William James.
By then, I'm still trying to figure out the play call on 3rd and 9, throwing a 5-yard slant into coverage. I mean, that's a great play call if you're in zone and you got an opportunity to run after the catch. That thing was dead in the water.
Not when you're looking for the first down. And you need 9. Reno Mahe to let it bounce. And the Redskins should keep it in play inside the 5, and they will. Well, earlier this week, Donovan McNabb became the first NFL player to have his own line of clothing, aptly called Super 5.
He was up at the Reebok store in New York City for a little fashion show, too. So he wasn't going to take part in it. He was just going to do the MC. But he really wants to have an impact. You know, the one thing he talked to us about was the younger kids today are influenced by those who they see on TV and how they're dressed, and he wanted to put out kind of a nicer line of clothing to get the younger kids more interested in dressing a little sharper. So.
It was fabulous listening to him talk about fabrics and textiles and stuff, man. Just blew my mind.
On the 3-yard line, the fashion designer hands off to Brian Westbrook for a gain of 3 as we take a look at the Eagles' leaders. And, of course, Donovan McNabb, native of Chicago, admiring Michael Jordan, who was the NBA player that came out with a clothing line of his own, plus other things. So now joining the parade as the first NFL player to do so. Stallworth has had a big game today, going over 100 yards and a big touchdown strike. 2nd down and 8 for Philadelphia. From the end zone, and the pass is caught short of the first down by Stallworth. They'll mark it at the 11. 3:05 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Donovan trying to get the guys back huddled up. He wants to get into a little bit of a hurry-up mode here. No huddle offense, even coming off a backed-up position. Now they're getting back to a normal huddle.
And Correll Buckhalter has come in the backfield. Buckhalter, of course, scored a touchdown actually on a fumble recovery. The ball in the air, originally thrown to Reggie Brown, fumbled it in the air. Buckhalter picked it up and ran the rest for the score. McNabb, good catch by L.J. Smith, gets a few extra for good measure and a first down to the 19. And that will be maybe first catch of the game for L.J. Smith.
And we talked about the Redskin play call on the 3rd and 9. That's a long way to go, but on that play, when you're in that short to medium range, that slant play is a good play, especially when you can get a big body like L.J. Smith out there on the outside, get him matched up with a safety.
So the first down on the 19. Westbrook now has come back. The throw. McNabb will run for the 2nd time and slide at about the 22, picking up 3 yards.
So I guess all that stuff that Andy Reid said the second half of the season, we're going to focus more on the run. I think it's a smokescreen.
Yes.
24-point lead. Late in the 3rd quarter with a rainy afternoon. We're still putting it up.
Coming up next, the Saints and the Steelers. Be a very interesting matchup because it's been a down year for Pittsburgh, but they're at home. Like nothing better than to knock off the high-flying New Orleans Saints. Coming up next for most of you on Fox. Here's Westbrook diving just shy of the 25. Couple of yards. Rushing today, the Redskins have outgained the Eagles 138-84.
Just that quick strike capability of this Eagles offense, though. They've had the two big plays for the touchdowns. But I would like to see them get into this situation, drive the ball, take some time off the clock, even if you want to throw in some short control throws. But I want to see more production from the running game in this type of situation.
3rd and 4, and open is Dante Stallworth, and Stallworth gets a lot of extra yards after the catch. It's his game today, a 21-yard pickup as Sean Springs misses it. So Stallworth, who missed 3 games with a hamstring, returned in the last game against Jacksonville.
I mean, he goes 2 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. Carlos Rogers comes up, plays poor leverage on the play, allows him to get back inside. I mean, Donovan throws the ball 2 yards down the field, and it turns into an 18-yard gain.
And that will be the last play of this 3rd quarter as Hank Baskett decides to clean up Dante Stallworth's helmet to the best of his ability. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. The Eagles, by a score of 27-3, lead the Redskins. And Fox NFL Sunday will continue after a word from your local Fox station.
You're watching Fox NFL Sunday.
What Eagles cheerleaders do when they're not doing this. It's tonight at 10.
At your Chrysler dealer, it's all about the best in American and German engineering and design. And now during the 2006 model year-end clearance, get 0% financing for 60 months on 2006 Chrysler Pacifica or Town & Country, the highest ranked van in initial quality according to J.D. Power & Associates. Or check out the best bonus cash ever on Chrysler 300C. So hurry into your Chrysler dealer today. During the Chrysler Model Year-End Clearance, get 0% financing for 60 months on Town & Country and Pacifica. Hurry, this offer ends soon.
You're buying.
There's no contest when it comes to great deals at McDonald's. Stop in now and you can get 2 Big Mac sandwiches for just $3.
Yes.
Well, way back then, we had the horse and carriage.
There was no television then. People listen to the radio.
Get the clothes out, wash them on the washboard. The 45 would drop and it would play.
If you held the rabbit ears in exactly the right position. I used to have to parallel park myself.
At your New Jersey, Delaware, and Pennsylvania area Lexus dealer.
And the Eagle cheerleaders with a welcome message to the troops who are watching this game, and we've shown you them throughout the afternoon. Start of the fourth quarter, Dick Stockton, the Moose, Darrell Johnston, the Goose, Tony Siragusa, down on the field, our field analyst. Well, the Eagles have lost the time of possession battle in each of the last 7 games, and it's could very well be 8. But we have said it all day. They've made the big plays, and they did it again today so far to open up a 24-point lead as we start the final 15 minutes. Donovan McNabb, 11 of 25. He has thrown for 215 yards and a TD pass to Stallworth.
You see right there, again, they're behind the 8 ball in that time of possession. They're getting the big plays, but they're not sustaining long drives. And one of the things that happens, their defense is on the field quite a bit during the course of these games. They're not getting the rest on the sideline. And when these big plays, if and when they do stop, I think we saw a little bit of that during that 3-game losing streak. You know, all of a sudden, you're relying on that big play down the field, and you can't really fall back onto the grinded-out style. So, you know, in this situation, you know, I'd like to see Philadelphia just, all right, we're gonna get into a certain formation with a personnel group, and we're gonna run the ball at you and take some time off the clock, just as a confidence boost.
First down on the 46, and as a confidence boost, Correll Buckholter goes off the outside, and there's no reason why the Eagles should do what you just said, chew up the clock, get the defense to get a little breather here in this fourth quarter with the big lead.
Well, you've got Brian Westbrook, you've got Correll Buckhalter. Thomas DePay is a good fullback. He's going to go stick his nose in there, try and dig some guys out. I think that's the best offensive line that I've seen with the Philadelphia Eagles the last 4 or 5 years. Brian Westbrook said it's the best group that he's had since he's been an Eagle. So I think everything is there right now, but if you don't do it, if you're not used to it in game conditions, there's going to come a point where they need a drive like that during the year, and they're not going to have that confidence.
As you know, that hasn't been their mindset. 2nd and 4, play action, so to the air again is McNabb, and he's going to be corralled back at the 50 by Warwick Holdman. Well, let's bring you up to date on the game. In the opening drive, Akers kicked a field goal to give the Eagles a 3-0 lead. But Donovan McNabb on first down on next time, Dante Stallworth 84 yards for a touchdown to make it 10-0 in the quarter. And then here is the big play. Reggie Brown, ball knocked in the air, and it was Correll Buckholter who ran for the 37-yard fumble recovery for the score. And then the big defensive play, Sheldon Brown picking this Brunel pass off, going 70 yards for the touchdown, 27-3. As 3rd down and 6, hand off to Westbrook, and the Eagles will be shy of a first down by 2 yards. Ronaldo Wynn with the defensive play. So Dirk Johnson will come in to kick it away. There's the running story. Usually they say if you're going to outrush the other team, you're going to win. Not the case today.
No, not when you have 3 touchdowns over 60 yards on each play. I mean, 84-yard touchdown catch. The fumble recovery was more like a 60-yard play. The interception return. So
Dirk Johnson to punt, and Antoine Randall L. stands back. touchback. Eagles 27, Washington 3 when we come back to rainy Philadelphia.
It's here. Come on, save yourself.
Can't talk now.
He's got
busy. I can't get that. I'm in the zone over here. Hee-haw.
You know how FedEx helped us with all our shipping needs? Overnight, ground, even the heavy stuff. And with fast, reliable deliveries and flexible pickups, I don't think Scott's gotten used to not being so busy.
Work, busy bee.
Grow your business with customized shipping solutions from FedEx.
If any one of you is innocent, raise your hand, you'll be free to go. That was my little joke.
Welcome to prison.
Who's the new guy?
Nelson Biederman IV.
Hi.
Feel the love.
Would you like some Merlot? I make it in the toilet.
Share the laughter. And see the most touching movie of the year.
It's all right to cry. Crying takes the sad out of you.
Let's go to prison. Rated R. Starts Friday. Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Hummer, like nothing else. By FedEx, for all your shipping needs. By Radio Shack. And by Budweiser, bright, crisp, clean, pure. This is Budweiser. This is beer.
Hardy fans here in the city of brotherly love, withstanding this driving rainstorm and being treated to an Eagle lead here. But first down for Brunell, and he completes to the 25-yard line to Santana Moss, returning to action today. Been bothered by a hamstring and missed last week. He's been their big play guy, but the Redskins have only managed just one big play in this game.
Yeah, I think losing Clinton Portis early on and Liddell Betts, he did a heck of a job coming in and filling in for him. He was very productive. But everybody that's a Redskins fan knows that Clinton Portis is really what this offense is built around. And for him to be out early in the game, they've been chasing it all afternoon.
Leading 5, they hand off to Liddell Betts. And a good play holding on to prevent a first down. Right now for the game break, let's check in with Chris Rose in Los Angeles.
Dick, the Bengals lead is gone after a Carson Palmer fumble. LT takes it in, his 4th touchdown of the day, 18th of the season, and the Chargers have a 42-38 lead in the 4th. Back to Dick, Moose, and Goose.
Amazing. 4 touchdowns for LaDainian Tomlinson today as the Chargers coming back. T.J. Duckett has come in as the tailback. He gained 12 yards in his first carry and picks up the first down here to the 32-yard line. A gain of 3. Now, originally, they brought in T.J. Duckett for insurance just in case Clinton Portis couldn't go, and really have not used him throughout this season.
No, they really haven't. A lot of that has to do with the performance of Liddell Betts. You know, he kind of created his niche as the 3rd down back and a good receiver out of the backfield for Al Saunders, but he's also had a 100-yard game for him during that time Clinton was out of the lineup. So it's not anything to do with TJ. It's been the performance of Liddell Betts.
Here's Brunell getting some time, but going underneath again to T.J. Duckett, who is hit immediately by Dhani Jones. Good hit by Jones. And the more cerebral linebacker you'll see in this game, Dhani Jones, who is making a children's film cartoon series. And all you have to do is get him on the phone or get his message to know how cerebral he is. And we'll tell you more about Dhani Jones, and a cut from a different mold, you might say. Former linebacker who began his career with the Giants. 2nd down and 10. Here's Brunell looking to throw, and he goes out wide, but Betts can't get away from Sheldon Brown. And they'll lose 9 yards on the play. Well, let's listen to the message. If you call Dhani Jones, this is what you get.
not about words. It's about energy. The source found within, around, and through you. If you believe in it, then move with it. Be a part of it. Understand it. Think about that as you leave a message for Dhani Jones.
Dhani, what do you want to have for dinner?
I think he's going to open up his own tarot reading complex there. He can go and tell the future.
3rd down and 22. And Brunell under pressure completes to Liddell Betts underneath, and Betts brings it out close to the first down yardage. One of the things you want to know from Dhani Jones is that what will it mean when Michigan plays Ohio State? He went to Michigan and they Ohio State. He says, "Oh no, we're going to win that game," and he became a big cheerleader for his alma mater right then and there. No surprise.
I'm shocked that it's the first time that they're meeting both undefeated. I thought that there was a game between Ohio State and Michigan when they were undefeated.
Boy, I would have thought so. So Derek Frost will kick on 4th down. And Reno Mahe back deep. Mahe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white jerseys. There's Dhani Jones making the big hit on T.J. Duckett. We'll be right back.
For years, I ate fried food and burgers that looked like this. And I looked like this. Then I found Subway restaurants. And I realized I could enjoy lots of great tasting food without lots of fat. Like the tasty sweet onion chicken teriyaki sandwich, juicy chicken strips, veggies, and a delicious sweet onion sauce, all in freshly baked bread with just 5 grams of fat. What have you got to lose? Later, big guy. Subway, eat fresh.
Little Man, now on DVD. He's out of jail.
The diamond? I had to ditch it.
And into a new crib. From the guys who brought you White Chicks and Scary Movie.
You want a nursing? Mm-hmm. You're drinking breast milk.
Little Man, now on DVD and Blu-ray disc.
Didn't need to see that. Nope.
You want to talk about low ceiling? That's the skyline of Philadelphia, which you can hardly see as the Eagles come out at the 28-yard line. Rainy day, doesn't seem to be raining quite as hard. Our meteorologist, Tony Siragusa, would know better. First down with 9:03 to go. Westbrook, a couple of yards up the middle.
I got a lot of titles, huh? Meteorologist now. That's great. Thank you. Really appreciate that.
The more you can do, Tony, the more you can do.
And Tony, you're our staff meteorologist. Got to say staff meteorologist.
I'll leave the titles to you, Dick. You're great at that stuff.
2nd down and 7 for the Eagles.
I'm trying to keep it dry for you, man.
Donovan McNabb. And everyone talks about where the Eagles are going to go. A lot of it is on the shoulders of him. They say how McNabb plays. Redskins were concerned about McNabb and Westbrook, but you got to go to number 5. He is always the pivotal figure. They hand off to Westbrook, and using up the clock now, gets to the 34-yard line. Winding down to 8 minutes to go. Nice hood.
Yeah. When was the last time you had to wear a hood at a game? Never.
Somewhere along the line, we did a game outside without any covering. You know?
It is partly cloudy with a 110% chance of rain today.
How's the wind? You can hear it.
No, it's not windy at all. Frostbit at 60 degrees down there.
3rd down and 4. The pitch to Westbrook. And Brian Westbrook, close to the first down, appears to have it. Sean Taylor came up to make the play for the Eagles. Well, coming into this game, Darryl, you talked about Andy Reid, and he was, kind of anxious coming into this game, wanting to know how this team would perform after the bye week, sending everyone home. And Joe Gibbs and what the Redskins to do to follow up the Dallas game. But how do you assess it?
Well, I think they've done a good job at times. I think there still has been some inconsistency with the Philadelphia Eagles. They came out and got off to a good start, which is an area they've struggled with, but it's really been the big plays. The big play to Dante Stallworth, the interception return for a touchdown by the defense. But the one thing I look and I watch, it's situations like this right here. Being able to do what they just did on that series. Get the first down, grind it out, take time off the clock. Donovan's coming up, he's milking the clock, take control of the game. You can't live by the big play alone. You've got to have that incorporated into your offense, and I think that's what happened to him in the losing streak. On
the other side of the coin, the big question was against one of the top offenses, one of the poor defenses. And they weren't run over by Andy Reid's offense today.
No, they had the one big play. Sean Taylor jumped the double move, cost him an 84-yard touchdown, but the Correll Buckhalter touchdown was a hustle play on his part. I really don't throw that on the defense of the Washington Redskins. So really coming into this game with that being the big matchup, the one Philadelphia has more big plays than anybody in the NFL. Washington's almost at the bottom in the league. I thought they did a good job. I thought they did a good job of preventing the big play during the course of the afternoon.
First down at the 38-yard line. They just barely made the first down as Westbrook carries and picks up 2 yards on the play. Ready to see a glimpse of next year's biggest movie? Well, tonight on Fox, don't miss the world premiere of the Simpsons movie trailer during an all-new episode of The Simpsons. It all starts tonight at 8, 7 Central, only on Fox.
They're hanging in there. The little ones are hanging in there.
The Eagles trying to get back to winning ways. Remember, they started the year 4-1. Their only loss was a game that they really had in their back pocket. Lost to the Giants in overtime as Westbrook breaks one, going outside and being hemmed in by Carlos Rogers. But it will be enough for a first down as the Eagles once again get into Washington territory. Get 11 yards.
A good play by Brian Westbrook at the end, too. Not to go over towards the sideline, have the opportunity to get it pushed out of bounds, get as much as you can, and then get down inbounds and keep that clock rolling. And
a season's high 21 carries for Brian Westbrook. He goes to the sidelines, replaced by Correll Buckhalter. 22 carries is his career high, and we don't know whether he'll get back in there. That was Andre Carter who's on the sidelines for the Redskins. First down at the 49. Buckhalter will lose 1 yard on the play.
It's funny watching those offensive linemen of the Eagles try to go and drive those defensive linemen off the ball. And what it was, I look at it as a bunch of soup there in the middle of the field. The field is right now just a big pile of mud. You can see right there where the Eagle emblem is. These guys can't really go and get footing. They're like sort of standing there like a stalemate. But it's fun to watch this and get all dirty like that right there. That's great stuff.
Your kind of football, maybe Darryl's as well.
I love playing that stuff. Grab a nice handful of mud and toss it at your friend a little bit. A little fun in there.
Not going to be a friend for long if you do that. Second down and 11 with 4.5 to play. Hand off to Westbrook. And Westbrook breaks out of the pack and gets the first down. And Brian Westbrook, who finally slipped, playing as if this game were tied. And he does tie the career high with 22 carries, getting 21 yards.
We talked about the stalemates, but if you watch Brian Westbrook right here, he goes, he runs into somebody, stays on his feet, keeps his feet moving, comes out, and everyone's like, where did he go, where did he go? And beautiful run down, like Moose pointed out before, staying in bounds and keeping that clock running.
And Joe Salavea, number 95, he's got him almost all wrapped up. I think everybody lost sight of him, and he just kind of squirted out the left side.
So Brian Westbrook, his sixth 100-yard rushing game and the third of the season. 113 yards on 22 carries and driving for more. So the Eagles have had 2 100-yard guys today, Stallworth as a receiver and Westbrook as a rusher. Let's take a look at what the Eagles have, and they've got Tennessee at home, but then it gets a little tougher, to say the least. Road games against the Colts, the Redskins, and the Giants, home against Carolina. They're going to have their work cut out for them the rest of the way.
And it gets tough because there's a group of teams, there's 6 teams, you mentioned them, vying for those 2 playoff spots, and they all play each other down the stretch. So it's going to be a tough road for all those teams involved.
2nd down and 7. Here's Buckholder, and not much there. You notice that the Ravens, one of those teams that were 5-4, went on to win the Super Bowl, and Tony can speak to that because people are always assessing who's in, who's out, who can make it, who can't make it. And Tony, give it from your perspective as a member of the Ravens when you were 5-4.
Well, you know what? It comes the middle of the season, and all of a sudden everybody's worried about where people are going to go and where you're going to be in the playoff race, and if you're going to get in. And the teams that just go and concentrate on one game at a time and build momentum, like this team we're seeing right here, the Philadelphia Eagles, they're the teams that are the most dangerous going into the postseason.
Now, why would they be dangerous at 5-4?
Because you start building confidence more and more. You know, at the beginning of the season, you have a couple letdowns like they've had in the last 3 games. 2 games they lost with the field goal. They got sort of embarrassed by Jacksonville, but they came back and had a big game here today with some big plays and just building game after game after game.
All right, down to the 2-minute warning here in Philadelphia. The Eagles headed for a W.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Cadillac. Check out the Cadillac navigation event going on now. Cadillac, life, liberty, and the pursuit.
One of the great things that I think I've been able to do in my life is seize opportunities. I wasn't even a starter, but the guy in front of me got hurt, and I had a chance, and I took that chance and had a big day, and I was a starter ever since. And so opportunities are seldom perfect, but I've learned that if you're not ready for them, they may not come again.
At our recent offsite, I picked up this juicy tidbit. SAP has software for mid-sized businesses. Trust me, it's juicy.
Okay, see you later.
Two minutes remaining in the game. The Eagles in front 27-3. An interception for a touchdown. A pass that was deflected, so a fumble recovery for a score. And they're running now, the Philadelphia Eagles, partner.
Yeah, more important than the big plays, we've talked about this in the second half. This is a very impressive drive by this Eagles offense. There's a potential for them to have gotten the ball with 9 minutes and 3 seconds left in the game and not come back off the field if they can convert the first down here.
11th play of the drive. And Westbrook getting down to Buckholter getting down to the 14th-yard line, picking up 4 yards. How about LaDainian Tomlinson, who has 15 touchdowns in his last 5 games? You know how impressive that is? It's a new NFL 5-game record, breaking the one held by Jim Brown, the great Cleveland Browns running back, who, people will say even today may have been the best running back ever. There's McNabb's comparison.
Yeah, very efficient in the second half, big plays in the first half. But this drive, this is the one thing I wanted to see the Eagles offense come out and do in this stage of the game, and they've done that. That was a tremendous drive.
They had 1 second to go before the play run off, and that will do it. Want to thank some people, our production and technical crew. Another terrific effort. The game produced by Bob Stenner, directed by Sandy Grossman. The associate director today has been Charles McDonald. The associate producer, Wayne Wilson. Our broadcast associate, Andy Cavanaugh. The sideline producer, Eddie Toner. Technical producer, Jeff Court. Technical director, Joe Abenda. The audio supervisor is Pat Lucataro. Pre-game show was produced by Scott Ackerson and directed by Bob Levy. The studio technical supervisor is Jack Simmons. The senior producer is Bill Brown. And the executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. Thanks to our spotter Chris Visser, our statistician Rick Odioso, and Mike Eldridge and Bill Cullen for their great work downstairs. I don't want to get Pat Lucatardo against me because he's our audio guy. That's the final score. The Eagles win 27-3. Philadelphia now goes to 5-4. And for the Redskins, they drop to 3-6. It looks dim for the Washington Redskins with 6 losses and some tough games coming up.
But the Eagles, that had to be a long bye week for them. They're on a 3-game losing streak heading into that bye. I think Andy Reid did a good thing cutting the guys loose. They came back refreshed, ready to go. You don't have to sit in town and answer all the questions about what ifs. They came out, played a good game today, answered a lot of questions.
And they want to see what the Giants do later against the Chicago Bears, because possibility that the Eagles can move again to within 1 game behind the Giants. Same story for the Dallas Cowboys. So there's a lot of real estate left to cover in this NFL season, especially in the NFC, as you see Troy Vincent, Sheldon Brown commiserate. So for Darryl Johnston, Tony Siragusa, Dick Stockton.